Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 866, powered by NZXT. I am your host, Jan Ochoa, and I am juiced. I am ready for the heel turn. That's right, everyone. But it's not just Mike Minotti, that's the bad boy in games media. We're all the bad boys. We're all naughty here just because of Mike Minotti's influence. And you know what? I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to introduce him first from GamesBeat, Mike Minotti.
Oh no, I'm a bad influence, just like in real life. That's no good. How's it going? I got to make a decision about this mustache soon here.
What's the decision?
Yeah.
Keep it or not? I mean, like the rest of it's
Keep it
growing
or
in
not.
now.
Have you like you haven't trimmed up the beard part yet? You've let the beard grow in.
Yeah, this is all. That's the other thing too. Is like, well, how much is the beard part growing in? Because I like having a little something down here. I like this little layer I have right now, at least. Maybe I'll grow that in a little bit more.
It's a strong look. What you have going on, like it is like a memorable look.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking about.
I'm keeping it in some way. I'm sorry. I'm just talking about my mustache more. You want to actually do a
we should talk
podcast?
about
Continue.
Yeah, no. This is,
No. I insist we introduce everyone else.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mike. Speaking about strong looks, he's got the strongest eyeballs in games media. That's right. They're piercing through your soul because he sees what you type. He sees what you write. And he sees that he needs to look deep into your souls. Dan Riker.
Whoa, I don't need to see anyone's souls. I'm fine. It's just general personalities and vibe is someone I can pick up. I don't need souls involved.
Well, yeah, I feel like soul is part of the vibe.
I don't believe in like shoot souls.
All right, and co-captain of the ship. Our dark
At 21
lord.
grams, that's all horse shit. There's no like ghost in me.
Yeah, there's no ghost in you yet because you become a ghost. It's like
No, I die and I just
no. It's like
dirt.
It's like bread and a toaster. You put bread in the toaster, it comes out a toaster, and then afterwards you
I turn
become
into dirt and worms eat me, and then I'm done.
Oh, I'm glad we're talking about religion.
No, death.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I did talk to Dan about death one time. He was just straight up in his most normal Dan voice, like, I'm not afraid to die. He sounded so pleasant about it. I was like, oh, that's nice.
You got nothing to worry about once it's done, unless you're wrong about everything, and then the devil's poking in the eyes with a pitchfork forever.
You know what? For as much as dumb things we say on the internet, I don't think any of us are going to hell. But we got the Dark Lord himself, co-captain of the ship, Jeff Grubb.
Howdy, Janet. Everyone chat thinks I'm going to do a hair reveal. My hair's just cold because I cut it all off, so I'm just wearing a hood. That's all there.
That's a hair reveal. That's what you
Stay
expect.
No, I had to do it, right? Because everyone expected it, but now it's just going back under here so I can keep warm.
You look like evil Kermit from that meme.
Yeah, that for people like there we go.
Oh, okay, there you go. Do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about death some more.
Hell yeah. I'd rather
Who
not.
do you think's gonna die here first?
You.
You're gonna feel so bad, Mike.
It's a toss-up, I think. I think you can make a strong argument for any of us.
Yeah.
Well, Dan's most likely to happen by an accident.
Yes,
of some
100%.
Sure.
I think Dan's gonna live forever.
No, my
Right.
dad always says that I'm going to have a stupid death. It's going to be something dumb I was doing, and it's like I was doing some bit with a bear or something. It's going to be something stupid.
Yeah, sure, but the most likely scenario is very Jimmy Carter coded. You are just going to be 100, and everyone's like, he's not dead yet, and you're just going to keep living forever.
I'm okay with, as long as I can move around, I'm not like falling apart. I'm cool with that.
Like my grand gimmicks will be doing a podcast and like they'll be just like waiting. It's like, we said it. Is Dan dead? Oh, okay. Uncle Dan isn't dead.
Genetically, I'm probably going to be around for a while based on my family history. And my dad says that he wants to do a podcast with me when he's 90 and I'm 70. And that sounds like the worst piece of media that's ever been produced.
I can't wait, but in a lot of ways, I can wait.
I can't picture my dad 30 years from now and what he would be like.
I bet he's going to really loosen up a bit.
yeah. He's a marathon runner, Buddhist. Yeah, just really at peace with the world. Yeah.
Has your dad gotten
stretches
into
every
yoga
morning.
at all?
No, there is a video on YouTube. If you search for Paul Reichert Yoga, I took him to a yoga studio when I was at Game Informer. I'm sure that's still up. It did not go well. Yep, here it is. I'll link it in the chat.
All right.
He did not like it. He did not enjoy it one bit.
How's everyone else doing with the state of the world, the state of ourselves, the state of our lives?
Fine. Why do you ask?
Yeah, what's up?
No,
What's the problem?
nothing. Nothing. I'm just thinking about my life expectancy now because of Mike Minotti.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I told you this before we went live, Jim, but I'm very disappointed in you for not having Crohn's.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'll try my hardest.
Brothers! I thought we'd be brothers!
You get Sky Rizzed up. Oh, wait, okay. I have a question, Mike.
Yeah.
Does Sky Rizzy treat more than Crohn's, or did I have a weird dream?
Well, okay. I want to know what you think it also treats, though.
It was like a list of things like mental health and like
No.
your heart and all these different things. I think I might have had a Sky Rizzy dream.
I mean, it's an immunity suppressant, so anything that would benefit from that,
it does treat skin conditions. Maybe that's what I heard. Okay,
skin conditions? I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, those are side effects. All right. There's still a chance I had a weird dream about Sky Rizzy.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. We all do because of Mike.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's the real Sky Rizzy, is that Mike has invaded every aspect of our lives now.
Oh, he's infused us
has,
the way that
yes.
Sky Rizzy's infused him. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like showing a friend like just my photos on my phone, and then they point at Mike Minotti, and they're like, "Oh, that's Minotti." I'm like, "How the fuck do you know who this is?"
Dang, how about that?
I went from 0% knowledge of Mike Minotti to Mike Minotti becoming omnipresent in my life like overnight.
I think, one of the Minotti brothers, shouts out to AJ, left a comment on a video I made on Instagram, and I'm like, look at the Minottis.
Yeah.
Gosh, it was like the voicemail dump truck or something where you guys were just saying the names of my brothers. I'm like, they know the names of my brothers? Oh, damn.
Yes. Y'all have a podcast.
We do have a
We
podcast.
know your birthday. We know your brothers.
of course
we know
we
your
How do you know my
dad.
birthday? That's private information. How did you find out?
You yelled it at a press conference.
We sang happy birthday to you last year at the Game Awards.
I gave you there are numerous Mike Minotti birthday memories I have. I don't remember most of my own.
Yeah, I can't remember any of my birthday cakes, but I can remember all of your cakes.
Oh, yeah. I was scheduling something out for my personal life, and it was on December 7th, which is the day before your birthday. Sorry to dox you. And I almost texted you because I'm like, he would want to know. He would want to know I'm doing something the day before his birthday. I know.
You should have told
I
me.
almost did.
And
Gosh,
this is
the cake-
all organic, Mike. It's not because you have inserted yourself into the
No, I would
narrative
never.
at all.
I would never be loud and obnoxious like that. No way.
No, that
Well,
doesn't
maybe
sound
not
like Mike.
obnoxious, but loud.
Mike Minotti, Mike.
Oh,
Mike,
God, this too.
Minotti,
Oh,
Mike,
wow.
I can't.
Minotti, Mike.
I thought I was
Mike,
free of
Minotti,
this.
It's been a while.
Minotti, Mike, Mike, Minotti, Mike, Minotti, Mike, Mike, Minotti, Mike, Minotti,
Man, it keeps going.
Yeah, it does.
There it is.
Mike.
Yeah.
Make sure you
So,
send
Dan,
that to Sean.
Dan, you games.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I like the 2 seconds of song. Yeah, that's good.
we already played a song, so we don't need another song for the
Sure.
segment.
Sure.
You have a new console, a new-ish console.
You could
and
call
this-
it new.
This hurts my brain because I was cleaning up my living room, and then I had to put my PS5 on the ground real quick, and then I thought, oh no, this is a base PS5.
Oh,
Dan,
yeah.
you have
You're
a
2
PS5.
behind now, brother. God, you had the Slim, and then you got the Pro. Catch up, buddy.
Should I get the PS5 Pro, Dan? What's popping with it?
Okay, so this is what I've been saying about it and thinking about it is, they sent it to me a week or two before it came out. And, I played all the ones that have the Pro upgrade for the most part. And I was impressed by some, some not as much. But to just get to that question of like, should you get one? I'm glad I have one that was sent to me and I didn't pay for. I don't know if I could say, hey, Jan, you should go spend $700 on this thing. At least not now, because it is right now a little limited in terms of like the ones that actually have the Pro, enhanced patch and all that stuff. I'm sure if you ask me a year from now, it might be a different situation as it becomes like the norm that all these big games have gotten the patch, all the new ones, are already ready for it. As of right now, there are certain ones. I think Last of Us Part 2 looks incredible. I think Horizon looks so good, it made me consider playing Horizon again, or actually going forward with Forbidden West, which I dropped off after 4 hours.
When I checked out the PS5 Pro at that event a couple weeks ago, Horizon impressed me the most, and then I thought, man, am I going to play through Horizon and get a PS5 Pro?
It looks great, and I think there are certain use cases if you sit kind of close to your TV, or for instance, I got the 100-inch that we did Extra Life on. It's a 100-inch TV that can have the benefit of blowing up that resolution quite a bit. So, and I am someone who's always picked performance mode because I definitely prefer frame rate over resolution. But I do, when I pick that in the past, it's I do have these 4K TVs. I wish I could see everything in 4K. I feel like I'm not utilizing everything to its full potential. One thing I was surprised by was I thought from the marketing, maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. I thought it just eliminated the choice where it's you don't have to pick performance or resolution. It's Pro now. And some of them do have that. Like Demon Souls, there's just a mode called PS5 Pro where it's just hey, it all just looks and runs, great resolution performance. But there are still game by game. There's okay, Ratchet and Clank, there's Fidelity Pro mode. You can pick things on ray tracing, reflections, and ambient occlusion. It's not as cut and dry as, hey, we put them both together. There is some tweaking you can do, which ultimately that's not a bad thing because I was able to even the fidelity mode is running at a much better frame rate than it would on a base level PS5. So yeah, but you do tinker with it a little bit. And Horizon, it has Favor Resolution Pro, Favor Performance Pro, and Balanced Pro. And it's okay, do I want 30, 40, or 60 frame rate? So you still are tweaking with those. It's just the base level of quality of all of them are up a bit, if that makes sense. And then there are some Spider-Man 2, which I think Spider-Man 2 already ran so fucking well that that's the one I could notice the least because that was already just holy shit, what kind of voodoo are they doing with this PS5? So that one I didn't notice as much. Rebirth, I think that was very helpful because if you did that in performance mode, it was definitely a bit blurry and soft, and definitely sharpens everything up to use the Rebirth update.
Rebirth is one that I think that's one for the Final Fantasy freaks that kind of makes us alone. Kind of one because that is a game where you had a frame rate mode, but it really hurt the resolution on it. And I still went with it because I am generally always going to pick that option. I need to have a smooth frame rate if I can have it. But yeah, that's the comparison case where I get the most ooh, I do kind of want to go back to Rebirth and do a lot of the post game stuff I didn't do yet, and ooh, that looks really nice. Then you think about it, well, does it look $700 nice? And then you kind of talk yourself off the ledge.
Yep. So I mean, especially 700, no disk drive. I did. They did send me a disk drive as well, so I installed that. That was very easy to do.
Sure.
But yeah, it is a hard sell right now. It's not a thing I don't know, PSVR 2. I never really had faith in that ever becoming worth buying because it just didn't seem like it had the support behind it. I don't feel that way about this. I feel like this is a thing that if you really super care about resolution and frame rate and you also have money to blow or you don't have a PS5 yet, maybe there's some cases where I would suggest someone buying this now if you're in that camp. But as far as if you've got one and you want to upgrade, I'm sure it's going to be a more worthwhile thing a year from now.
Actually,
Sure.
To me, it looks like it's I could see the pathway to talking yourself into it, right? It's okay, if I get it now, I get the most benefit from it for the next several years before we get a PS6, and we know there's games coming like Monster Hunter that will greatly benefit from this. So it'll be nice just to have it. There's some games maybe I didn't finish, and I already have a PS5, so maybe if I sell that PS5, that cuts down the cost of this thing. I see that line of thinking. It's just not as obvious of an upgrade as the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X were, and even those weren't slam dunks either. I think we're talking about maybe a fraction of a fraction here of people that really are going to show up for this thing. Yeah. And I think that's fine. I think they mostly know that's what was going to happen here. Before this thing came out, the conversation that I think we most frequently had, or the feeling I most frequently had, was that this doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense. I don't know if we need this. And now we're here and we don't need this. And okay, so what? It's not the end of the world. It's maybe nice to have the option. But I'm going to keep kind of pushing off my reasons of getting it personally, which is weird for me. I usually show up for these things every time. You know, I got to save money right now, but whatever. Like beyond that, even if I wasn't in that situation, I'd be like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to get this thing.
I wonder if this is going to push base PS5 Pro sales because people will see or are hoping for like a discount on the base model and realizing like, well, I maybe don't need a PS5 Pro. Maybe I'll just get the OG one and that'll, bide my time or whatever. Yeah,
I mean, it's I think that we're getting some price adjustments, price corrections here right now, as the $700 does feel too expensive, and I think maybe it's like even shocked people a little bit into being like, wait, what am I spending my money on? And I think maybe the solution there is maybe at least through this holidays a price cut, and we'll talk about that in the news, and that could, I think, sway many more people over to the base model.
Okay.
Yep.
I did a very unscientific poll in our chat. Like, hey, who got a PS5 Pro? And I knew it wouldn't be many, but 50 said no and 0 said yes. I thought there'd be one person in our very, hardcore gaming crowd who had picked up a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah, that's bananas.
Yeah,
I think it's I know like 1 or 2 people that I could see like that fit those criteria of like obsessed with resolution and have money to blow, and it's like outside of those couple people, I can't imagine anyone I know rushed out to spend $700.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the most intense PlayStation fans are the ones that they were aiming with this thing, and that's who's maybe going to get it.
Saw a friend of the site just go down to a Target and was able to pick one up. So they are not hard to acquire if you need to or want to.
Story about that as well in the news.
Okie dokie. All right. Gentlemen, does Call of Duty Black Ops 6, does that make you desire pro performance, or how's your pro gameplay going?
That game runs great on everything, right?
It runs really well on everything, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have I've been playing a lot of multiplayer, and it's cool because like this year there's like a MLB The Show does like a retro mode where you can play the controls and stuff are like Ken Griffey on Super Nintendo.
Totally.
They have the new Call of Duty on PC. It's got like a retro, you can play it with a keyboard and a mouse. And so for the first time, I'm playing Call of Duty with a keyboard and a mouse. It's crazy. Like I missed that whole era back then. And it's actually, I know it's like a novelty. It's like a niche, like retro thing. But like I feel like I can aim better with the mouse.
Oh my god.
No, what? No way. That'd be weird.
Yeah. It's like kind of nice actually. You kind of get used to it, and it's like there's just a bunch of letters or how you move around. It's weird. It's like back they used to do that on like Apple IIs or something. I don't know. I never had a computer growing up.
It's weird because Call of Duty is like the one shooter franchise where it's like, yeah, you don't need a mouse and keyboard. Although, of course, it's still, you get more control with it. But holy shit, Dan. Jesus Christ.
I always was a console guy. I always played Call of Duty on console. And
it's the most console shooter ever, yeah.
Well, it's also great because it's like with the Activision account thing, it's like I can just sit here and play. Like I streamed some last night on PC, and then I can go play on the big screen on the PS5, and it's like everything just links together. Any like purchases, any unlocks, like all your saved loadouts, it's just seamless. It works. So
you can actually, I think you could still plug in a mouse and a keyboard to an Xbox, and it'll just work.
Yeah, if you're a freak.
It'll just catch on fire.
Yeah, right. Doesn't that feel perverted? It does feel wrong.
Can you play like keyboard and mouse on an Xbox?
I think so. I think they added support for that for a lot of games. At least, they did that a couple years ago. I don't know. Maybe support broke.
You could use keyboard and mouse on Dreamcast to play Quake 3 Arena.
Yeah, right, there we go.
No, I got my keyboard controller for GameCube for all my Phantasy Star Online.
See, that's the real hardcore mode.
Yeah. I want one of those so bad.
I got one, and it's so stupid. I love that you can just play Mario Sunshine with a keyboard controller. It's so stupid.
I think it's the first thing I picked up when I went in Dan's basement was that controller. Yeah.
Wow.
So there it is. Let me at it.
Very silly thing.
Call of Duty though is one where it's like I get tired at night. I'm an old man and with kids, and I'm exhausted, and we'll get done we got old bones, and we'll get done doing like a Game Mess podcast or whatever, which ends around 10:30, 11:30 in that range. And a lot of times the guys will like play games. I'm like, sometimes I'll hop in, but like the last couple weeks, hey, let's play Call of Duty. I'm like, yes, let's play Call of Duty. I boot it up, and we go longer than we intend. We play one more round. Dan joined us. I'm like, okay, we'll play a couple more rounds. Dan's here. It's that game again, and I think that is, if someone's trying to figure out, hey, is this a good Call of Duty? if someone could tell you that anecdote of I started playing even when I was like not super in the mood, and then I just kept playing because we were having fun, that's what you want to hear from Call of Duty. So this is one of the good ones for sure.
And especially when it's like, I don't know where you all are with this, but like, I used to like love Call of Duty from like 2 up until maybe like Advanced Warfare is when I kind of started falling off and not playing every campaign and not playing any multiplayer for a lot of them. So I kind of fell off for a little bit.
Yep.
The Modern Warfare reboot got me back in like 2019, but then I went like 5 years without even really messing around with much multiplayer. And now I'm all the way back in. It's reminding me of how I just that one more round type stuff. Even it reminds me of like the Call of Duty 4 feeling of like really messing around with loadouts and all these challenges and everything. And it's not drastically different. Like there are the things like the Omni movements and all that stuff that feel really good and new, but it does just feel like classic ass Call of Duty. I'm playing Domination and Kill Confirmed and all this stuff, and damn, the maps are good as hell. Everything feels great. It's
that blockbuster map rules.
I like the blockbuster map a lot.
That one's great. The one with the hangars that you can open and close with the stealth bombers in there. That's fun. It's just I'm back. I'm back on Call of Duty.
Nice. We should play some on the website.
Zombies is the only thing I haven't tried. I would love to try Zombies still.
Let's do that. And then I do think I'm going to try to find time this week to maybe play through a good chunk of that campaign on the website.
I was going to ask, have you all checked out the campaign at all?
I've not started
strictly
it.
been...
First thing I did. I always do campaigns first, and this is like absolutely one of my favorite Call of Duty campaigns.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, could be definitely top 3, I would say. Tons and tons of variety. Just a really, really fun thing. A good like base thing to go back to between missions, and the open world stuff they do is really interesting. It's fantastic.
Lovely. Similarly related game that I just lose a lot of time to is Webfishing.
What is this? Everyone's
play
talking
this.
about web fishing. I have no idea what it is.
A chat room where you fish.
Yes, it is a chat room where you fish, except I play this by myself.
Oh, yeah.
You make like a little...
Sigma coded Jan, yeah.
That's right. I just listen to an audiobook or put on a podcast and just disassociate and go fishing. It is pretty much exactly that. You make a little Animal Crossing-like character. The art style is very similar to maybe like a early PS1 N64-ish polygonal animal jazz, and you just go fishing. That's it. That's all it is. And it's like the Animal Crossing fish style of fishing. You hit A, you got to reel it in, so you'll hold the A button, and then sometimes you got to mash on the A button because the fish is a little tough.
Mount Rushmore of fishing in video games. We did Mount Rushmore of fish.
I like Stardew Valleys.
Yep, I like Link's Awakening.
Oh, well, even a bad game can have a good fishing mini.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I like Sonic Frontiers.
But it's
Fishing?
a very chill time, and I think we should all play it together as well.
Yes,
I tried it.
I would love that.
I didn't get any hats. I saw everybody I played with had like fun hats and shirts and stuff, and I was just like a little cat. But I didn't play long enough to get my cool hats.
You just start as a little cat, and then as you unlock or you catch more fish, you unlock more options to get more fun cosmetics. I'm a big fan of this style of game, and that style of game being just like turn your brain off and just hang out with friends. So I think we should definitely maybe perhaps have an outdoor activity week, like Grub you presented to the gang.
Yeah, like the outdoor cable channel that always has like the other sports. Like we should do a week dedicated to that kind of stuff.
We get Bill Dance.
Instagram message Bill Dance to see if he wants to be on the dump truck.
Exactly.
Does he have a link? Dan, does he have a link tree on his Instagram page?
I
Does he
just
have an
saw his
OnlyFans?
Instagram and his messages were open, but I've not heard back from Bill Dance, so I hope he's doing all right.
Okay. Well, maybe Bill has his like notifications turned off.
That could be, no, he's super online.
He's on our Reddit complaining constantly.
That's right. Yeah. It's mostly on Blue Sky these days. Bill Dance.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bill Dance is just skeeting away.
Oh yeah.
Another quick small game that I checked out is Duck Paradox. It's a
I played this at PAX.
yeah. It's like a Wario Land Pizza Tower-esque game where you are trying to acquire a duck at the end of the level. It's a quick, small platformer, and then like in that Wario, is it Wario 3 where you run back to the entrance, or is it Wario 4?
Before 3 is more of the puzzle platformer style.
Right. Wario 4 where you get to point A, you get to point B, and then you run all the way back to point A. But in this instance, you gotta grab a duck, you gotta platform all the way to go get a duck, and then platform all the way back to return said duck, and then defend the point A from a bunch of enemy ducks. It's okay in terms of like the flow of it. The platforming does feel good though. A lot of good, nice, tight air control.
What I remember from playing it is that, like, when you shoot your gun, it bounces off the walls. You can have like 360 shooting, and it'll bounce off a wall until it hits something, whether it's an enemy or you. So you're kind of careful about that stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, you don't want to be blasting off because you can just hit yourself. And yeah, like I said, the platforming feels really good. The flow of it isn't necessarily my jam because I really liked the Wario series prior to 4 because I didn't like having that anxiety induced of like, I got to get back to the entrance and go as fast as I can. A really neat little indie platformer.
It's interesting that that's become like kind of the legacy of the Wario games because now at least it seems like among developers because we have this Anton Blast Pizza Tower. This is like becoming a genre now. And I really liked Pizza Tower, and so far I've liked what I've played of Anton Blast, but I haven't had a lot of time. I think we played that at PAX, right, Mike? And then I've not seen this one, but I mean, I think I do like this, but I'm with you, GM, where it's like I like those Wario Land games before that as well. I wonder if there's going to be sort of a turn back to that at any point.
I feel like a fake Wario fan sometimes whenever I think about Wario Land because I never really played that series.
No, we know about you.
Game Boy. Oh, yeah.
Hey, WarioWare. That was a Game Boy Advance.
We know you like Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, but I never really. I played more Wario World on the GameCube than I've played all the Wario Land games combined.
I never checked that out.
It's a weird game. It's all right. Wario Land Shake It. I played a decent amount of that. That was a console game.
I'm a Wario World defender. I think it's oddly underappreciated. I'll say it.
I'm with you, Mike. I liked the first one where you gave Wario a bunch of fun little hats.
No, World, not Land.
Oh, okay.
Land gets plenty of love. Hell with it. No, World. I'm over here waving the banner for Wario World, made by Treasure for the Nintendo GameCube.
Yep.
As a fan of garlic growing up, I never understood the problem. Is it because
garlic's great? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Why were we shaming Wario for his love of garlic?
It's bad for your breath a bit, but I don't know. Carry gum with you. Most food is, but your breath's gonna smell like whatever you eat, and usually that's
you gotta
unpleasant.
take care of that, right?
Yeah. Get out of my face.
Stop being a close talker, you know?
And garlic's good.
Garlic is good. And you know what else is good? Fucking Kingdom Hearts 2 is good.
Yeah, sure is.
Why is this on the list, Mike?
I'm playing,
Assaulted this episode.
So I do a yearly Kingdom Hearts marathon stream for our Extra Life team in December. Last year I did Kingdom Hearts 2.
And they accept that money?
Oh yeah, they're very happy to
dirty
take
money.
it.
The kids love Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my
dirty,
gosh.
sticky money.
Look, I get why people don't like Kingdom Hearts. It's fascinating to me how people love to hate Kingdom Hearts. I was looking at Dan's amiibos, and I was like, man, you got all them.
Stupid. Even like
It's
by like super.
especially
It's
stupid.
especially stupid.
You
even
love stupid.
No.
You love stupid. If it took place in Alaska and had a guy who like
Who's the
surfs
vice
on
president of
a
nukes.
nuclear weapon, you think it was cool.
And it was
But because
mostly
it's about
about
friendship
creating
and-
new Alaska. I only have to listen to
if
Kayla.
fucking Donald Duck was chasing Snake around, I would think that's too much.
I would love that so much. It'd be the greatest. That's part of why I love Kingdom Hearts 2, because it's like, here's Tron from the movie
Yeah.
Tron, and he says the words Donald Duck, and I'm like, God, that just is all the dopamine right there. But yeah, so I'm finishing up the save mode I started last December so that I could be ready for next month when I'm going to marathon Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the PSP one. Kingdom Hearts 2 is actually one of my favorite games ever, and it still is. I think it's just super wacky and fun and neat. The combat mechanics are very good. There's a lot of juggling and air stuff involved. It's the right balance between having some flashy, fun stuff like the dry forms and the limit breaks. 3 goes too far. It's like every 2 seconds. It's like summon Big Thunder Mountain. You did that. Now you have a big yo-yo, and I'll make Donald Duck do a flip. And it's like, hey, can I just hit things with my Keyblade for a second, actually? And you're like, no. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 had the right balance. I haven't actually played the final mix version that much. There's so many extra boss fights and stuff that I'm digging through, which is fun. Orin from Final Fantasy X is hanging out in the Hercules world, and he can be in your party. It's great. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, all-time banger. Fuck you guys. Except for Jan.
Thank you.
I like that you like it. I no, not gonna say you're wrong for liking it. I just think if you made something in a lab that would be specifically revolting to me, I think it's a Disney and JRPG crossover with a lot of cutscenes.
Now, Dan, here I know people will always try and take the Metal Gear route to sway you to the Kingdom Hearts side, right?
Well, I like philosophy.
Of course.
Not too much though,
and politics and anime. Yeah.
Now, what if instead, right, you had like a Devil May Cry style game, but your party consisted of Mario and Luigi?
That sounds awesome.
That does sound very good.
That sounds fucking great. I would love
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
I was even into like when there was the rumors of like the Mario Kingdom Hearts or Dynasty Warriors game.
Dynasty,
Yeah, I heard that slip.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. That's a print money.
Okay, that's basic.
Those are relevant pop culture characters.
Yes. Now that
Not falling for that.
Dan, that excitement you felt for that supposed game is what Kingdom Hearts is to people like Mike and I.
Oh, yeah.
But it's stupid.
It's just stupid. All it is you don't have an affinity for Disney, so you don't feel anything when you
I
see.
now play Kingdom Hearts 2. I played Kingdom Hearts 1, and I disliked it most of the time.
I rented
know.
it in college because it's like, all right, some people seem to really like this game, and even though I don't give a shit about Final Fantasy or Disney, I like a good game, and I played it, and there was something about just the amount of cutscenes, and then the actual like running around and jumping, like the actual game part of it did not feel great. Granted, I played it for like a metaphor length of time, but didn't feel right to me.
Like you can get over the cutscene thing if it's about something you're invested in or care about. Obviously, since you defend Metal Gear Solid 4, right?
Because that's grounded in reality.
Yeah, nano machines. If this was nano machines instead of hearts, then it's fine. And not real hearts. I mean like Kingdom Hearts hearts, which are like souls that Dan doesn't believe in.
But we're adults. It needs to be about like nukes and stuff and not like heart moons, right?
You're right. I would feel much better about life as long as I'm reading everything about nukes and sex.
Well, Dan, no matter what your views and opinions are of Kingdom Hearts, I would still share a Pow Pow fruit with you.
Thank you. And I would appreciate that. I would have it as well.
Yeah,
I go to Disney next week.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta repent for your sins.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be blasted by Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I should.
Not really.
I'll play some Kingdom Hearts with the kids before we go.
There's not that much Kingdom Hearts stuff in the parks. No. You'll be fine.
There's a one Halloween stand during the Oogie Boogie Bash.
And it confused Jeff greatly, remember?
Oh, yes. Yeah, you were very upset about it.
Just because I was like, so why? And then you guys didn't have a good explanation, but we can move past that.
So, Grub, I got a question for you. As the gimmicks are growing up and they're getting into games, they're getting out of games. Dan, you could apply this with Steve as well. I don't want to leave you out.
Yeah.
I know that you have the fear, Grub, of not wanting to introduce inverted camera controls to the gimmicks.
No, I mean, it's not. Look, it's not a fear. It is a. I don't want to be the dad that made their kids weird. But because you have access to more video games than like a normal father, right? What if you see them slowly start getting into and curious about Kingdom Hearts? I do want to see if they would like Kingdom Hearts because I think they might. But I'm not going to have them play Kingdom Hearts 1. I can't have that in my house. But maybe 2. But I think I asked Mike this. It's like, hey, if I was going to do that, what should? And he's like, just go with 3. So I'll put 3. I think I have that on Xbox already. I wouldn't hate it. It wouldn't be the worst thing. Because my problem was just I wanted to like the game. I played the first one, and there was just so much bullshit throughout it that I was like, I think this is a bad game. And everyone seems to like Kingdom Hearts 2 better. I did start that, and it was like so slow at the beginning that I just died and could not play any more of it. But hey, if they're playing it, that's not a problem for me.
I think if I had kids and they played Kingdom Hearts, I would drop them off at the local fire station.
Sure.
Can you do that at any age?
I don't see the rules.
We had this conversation before. Dan thought that you could just send a 15-year-old there.
Well, I don't know where it cuts off, but it is a good out.
I don't know if it's a good out.
What does that mean? What do you think you're saying?
Everyone's like, oh, God, I'm stuck for 18 years raising and paying for this kid. It's like, no, just take him to a fire station. Everyone has fire stations around.
God, this is the guy who raised over $45,000 for Children's Hospital.
No, we did.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It says
Right,
Dan
right.
Reichert when it's listed as number 6 in the leaderboards. Congratulations, by the way. It's awesome.
Yeah. Congrats again,
kids.
gents.
Yeah,
For the kids. The 18-hour video is now it's been out on YouTube, so I suggest you check that out. Shouts out to Sean. Hello, Sean. Speaking about Sean and things that Mike Minotti and I are united with, it is playing Pokemon TCG Pocket.
I gotta open my packs.
Yeah. I see what God is giving other people and giving them God packs, 5 full art cards, and I pray for the same thing because your boy is just getting fucking just basic Oddishes. I don't even have a regular Bulbasaur yet, y'all.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I got 4 Cubones, and none of them are the cute full art ones.
You're gonna hate me. So I literally was like, gosh, I want that full art Cubone. Which one is it? And you see it. I'm like, oh, I want that one. And I open a pack and it was immediately that Cubone with the full art. I'm like, that's nice.
I am lacking so many trainer cards, but I brought this to the table today because I have a legitimate gripe with the game, and it is currently there is an event where you are supposed to battle other players, and here's the problem: all the other and I understand that this is because there are only a limited amount of cards available in the game as of right now. So you're going to run into the same deck archetype over and over and over again. But I constantly am fucking running into people with the Mewtwo EX deck, or they're running a Misty water deck and able to like get me out in one turn because they're able to put the energy on their card and attack on the first turn. You're not supposed to be able to do that. But either way, I'm still having a good time. The thing is, though, after playing so much Marvel Snap, I'm so used to the matches being very quick and easy.
Snappy.
It's very snappy. Here, seeing the time limit being 20 minutes is kind of intimidating, and I just don't want to sit there. And a lot of people that I've gone up against have not learned that, yo, you are definitely going to lose this game. Just concede, please. Save us all some time.
Now, Jan, for the collection aspect, I have an idea. What about a Friday UPF where it's you open 100 packs and then you can expense it?
Well,
Can I do that?
No.
I was talking to Jan.
No. Hey, that seems like a great idea.
I think a lot of people would watch that. I think that'd be a good use of company funds, personally.
Yes, and we got plenty of those around. So maybe we do that.
Flowing.
Mikey, how you feeling about the Pokemons?
Actually got a lot of the cards that I want. My luck has been pretty good. I haven't spent any money, and I've got the gold Mewtwo. I got 2 of the gold Mewtwo EXs. I got the animated Charizard, the animated Pikachu, a bunch of other great things. So yeah, I'm good. I don't need to spend any money. Pokemon gods like me.
Rarely has he ever sound cooler.
Yeah, I've been winning a lot of my those online games. I just leave it up to RNG gods because I have a Marowak deck and he just flips coins to see if he kills people. And then, you flip them and it's 50% chance, but it's usually heads because God likes Mikey. And then I win. Because I believe in souls, Dan.
God likes Mikey needs to be your new thing.
Yeah.
That's your if you smell what the Rock is cooking. That's how you end your promos.
Yeah, God's in everyone's corner, but he leans a little bit on my side.
Jesus.
That's from the musical 1776. It's a quote.
Oh.
Kind of. It's yeah.
Oh, we lost Jan. Look at that.
Oh, no. So, I wonder why the silence was awkward when I was talking about souls.
You can hear us, I think.
Are you saying Jan doesn't have a soul, Mike?
Yeah, what the hell, Mike?
Jan has the most soul.
Do you think his waveforms are still going, or just no?
He's shaking his head.
There,
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
he's
You want us to keep going? All right, he's telling us to keep going. All right.
Okay.
I like the Pokemon game. I finished all the. I hope there's more NPC fights because I do prefer fighting against the computer. It is a bit more chill. it's almost more like a puzzle, right? Because you know what kind of deck they're gonna have, so you make a deck to counter that, and you go for it. Fighting against people, it's fine. And Pokemon cards is always weird because there are the weaknesses, right? Like, fighting is strong against normal, or dark's strong against psychic. And especially when you only have 20 cards in your deck, so you're not going to have multiple types. It's like, well, I have a water deck, and I just went up against somebody with electricity. Guess I'll lose. It's not a death sentence per se, but it does kind of feel bad. Like, well, I guess I just am immediately at a disadvantage. That kind of sucks.
Is it? Do you think a calendar year from now will you still be playing the trading card game Pocket?
A calendar year's a lot. I imagine I might start taking breaks till expansions come out, right? Because like I said, I actually am at a point like I got pretty much most of the cards that I want from this set. Hey, I hear Jan.
Oh God! All right, man, I'm gonna use company funds to replace this fucking Go XLR.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
Yeah. Thank you, gents, for keeping the ball rolling. Sean, I'm sorry. There's gonna be funky stuff with my audio. But hey, that's the toll that we must pay for recording audio and having digital devices. Just like I've been playing Keeper's Toll. We were talking a little bit earlier how some indie games have adopted that Wario 4 format, and I thought it was only a matter of time until we start seeing more games replicate Vampire Survivors. Keeper's Toll is a fun Vampire Survivors like. It's a slightly more active. In terms of like there are button commands where you can input directional buttons to do a combo, and it'll warp you somewhere else on the map. And you start with 5 or 6 different characters, and it is that same format where you are auto attacking, but you are gaining levels a little bit more quicker, and then those different abilities will play off similar to Vampire Survivors in how you format your character. Except here, there'll be like world events popping off in the map of like, oh, hey, a shopkeeper dropped in. You should go visit the shopkeeper. The thing that I have enjoyed so far about this game is that there's also a dash that you can do, so you can kind of get out of a sticky situation a little bit easier. There's also Estus Flask equivalents where, man, my health.
Oh, cool.
Got to heal up a bit, and there's that management there. The other world events that pop up are stuff like big boss battles that come up, or like, here's a random altar. Do you want to just sacrifice half of your health and see what happens? And sometimes it'll be a detriment. Sometimes it'll just wind up upgrading one of your abilities instead. I'm interested to see where this goes. I've only checked out one character, and he was very melee focused, so a lot of his abilities were only just attacking people fairly close up. It was interesting because some of his abilities were like, all right, this is like a down sweep, and I was trying to figure out, is my character actually going to like do a sweep? And no, he just shoots a shadow down because that is a leg sweep, and then his uppercut would just shoot up instead of to the side. It's interesting. It did make me think of how much I missed Vampire Survivors, and I'm curious about that Castlevania DLC.
That seems beefy.
I started that. It does seem quite beefy. I only did like, I think, one run with it, but like just seeing the map and be like, oh, that's just a straight up Castlevania map. Seems like there's a lot in there.
Yeah, there is.
And last but not least for this week in terms of games, I've yet to check this out, but I'm very, very curious. Rise of the Golden Idol.
Yes, I am, I believe, 1 or 2 cases away from being done with this. Grub, how far are you?
I'm into chapter 2. I just started it.
Okay, I'm deep into chapter 5, which appears to be near the end there. So, yeah, overall, I love this. And I think there are things that I definitely prefer this one over the original. There are some things that have I haven't loved as much, but I'll get into that. But overall, the art style is incredible. The setting, like just the more like modern, like late 70s, I love this setting a lot more than the Satchel Times of the other one. It also does some really smart things where it's like chapters. So there will be chapter 2 will have 3 or 4 cases, and so you'll solve them all individually, like in a bottle, and then at the end, before we move on to chapter 3, there will be like an overarching, like, okay, well, what in this whole set of levels put together the story and fill in these blanks. And it has the fill in the blank ones, but it also has like some side things where it's like, okay, there was this casting call for this commercial. You need to figure out who from, you know, these 9 names got cast in this commercial because there are only 4, or you got to figure out what all these buttons do on this device. So things that aren't just like fill in the sequence of events. So it does kind of shift it up in some ways that I really like. The individual cases are awesome. There are a lot where just like, oh, you got to that one. Oh, you do the auction one. The like, you know, you'll know immediately if you say, oh, you do the drive-in theater one, and very, very memorable cases like that. The thing that has frustrated me, and I don't want to say it's a minor complaint because it is one that's come up several times for me, is that a lot of these solutions are just a big thing of blanks. So it's like blank, blank did blank, and blank, which blank to blank, then blank to blank. And so there's a lot of things to fill in. And I can fill in things that are all accurate. Like I can take in the story, I can see everything happening in the scene, this mystery, this murder, whatever it is, and put in accurate information, but it won't count because it's not the specific thing the game was looking for. Does that make sense?
The Phoenix Wright problem. Yeah, I come across this in similar other kind of mystery or puzzle adventure games, and it is frustrating when, like, you know what happened. You just have to figure out how the game wants you to communicate it properly.
Like, can you do you have an example, or like, because like I usually I'm like, oh, I feel like I could put this name here or there, and it would know that what I meant.
If it's like this, if it's a one sentence where it says blank and blank went to the thing, you can swap A and B and it'll know. But like, it's especially as it gets into the more complex ones where it's like, here's 3 paragraphs and I can fill in stuff that is all accurate, but because it was looking for something, it's like, oh, well, how was I supposed to know that that's what it was saying? Because it's just mostly blanks. I think you'll see it more in some of the later ones.
Yeah, I probably just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, because the first couple chapters, I remember just kind of putting it all together and everything. And then as it gets later on, there's so many blanks, it'll get to the point where it's like, all right, I don't know what this once, and it says 2 or fewer incorrect, so I'm just kind of swapping out random names and stuff until it tells me I'm getting to a better spot. So I don't know, a little specific with what it wants sometimes, but especially once, like when they sent it out, they sent out like the solutions and stuff. So like there have been a couple times I've had to just like go to that and I'll see it and I'm like, oh, that's what it was going for. We're like, I knew all that information. That's what, okay. You'll know it when you get to it.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like chapter 3 and chapter 4 when I started running into that. But overall, I think most of them you can just solve by deducing all the clues put in front of you. It does get very difficult, though. It gets very, very difficult, but it also is incredibly satisfying when you put the things together.
Yeah, it's I think that's where it's at for me. Like Dan said, I just love looking at this game. Like just taking in the scenes, seeing all the weird people moving around in weird ways.
Yeah.
The portraits are so odd and fascinating. It's just a strong style. And then like enjoying looking at the images is helpful because all the information is there in front of you. It's all like the solution is like that little splotch of green, like that stands out. It matters like that, and that's going to make a difference in what happened in the story and help you solve this thing. So pay attention to everything. And I love games like this where I can where it's just set there, and then the rest of the gameplay takes place in my head as I figure these things out. And they crushed it with a Case of the Golden Idol. And it's like, oh, okay, they really do have that magic touch where it's like every single one of these I've continued to feel very excited when I stumble across something. There's times where it's like I will be stunned at something I'm realizing, and it's like, oh my God, the implications of this for the overarching story. What does this mean? I wasn't even thinking that this was possible. Didn't occur to me, and it's like, oh, that's why they covered up that person's body part for whatever reason. And now I'm like, okay, this means that, and now I'm thinking about this whole thing differently. And those revelations coming to you as you play the game is the game, and that is, boy, it's so much fun.
Yeah, and there are so many times where it's like playing the game amounts to just like staring at things you've seen a million times before and just thinking. Like you're not actively clicking anything, playing, you're just thinking. Yeah. Or it's one of those things where I'm taking pictures with my phone and I'm taking 2 pictures and like I'm opening up like different windows on my screenshots app and putting things together and drawing on things. It's I love that type of shit. And I feel like Oberdin and Case of the Golden Idol, both very good, but I think the studio is getting better each time with putting this together. Like it's more elegant now. Like I loved the idea of Obra Dinn, but something about it like existing in this 3D space and everything. I think I prefer just looking at a couple like dioramas of just like, okay, it's all right here. I'll see what this person has in their coat, but like it's all right in front of you, you know?
Yeah, but the biggest feeling coming out of Obra Dinn for me was, this is a new genre. I need more of this, and now we're here, and it's like, oh, they're going to make a lot more of this. Wout, who works on the game, he works on the publishing side of it, has told me on Blue Sky that they have 4 DLCs planned for this game for next year, and it's like, okay, that's exactly what I want to hear, because as I'm playing it, I'm having such a good time. I'm like, this could just be one of those genres where it's like, I am just, every time there's something new here, I'm going back and playing more of it, and I could do that. I foresee for the rest of my life. It's that much my shit. So them getting better at it, kind of really honing their craft, has been really nice to see, because it does confirm it's like, oh yeah, this is something we're going to get a lot more of, and it's not going to like lose its luster. In fact, it's getting better.
Yeah, I mean, logic puzzles have been around forever. This is just a really cool way of presenting it in video game form.
Right, exactly. And but actually, like executing on that in a really good video gamey way has been something relatively new, and I appreciate that. Yes,
exciting. I love it. Is Rise of the Golden Idol, or the original Golden Idol game, y'all think it is on the Mount Rushmore for, wow, this game makes me feel smart?
Ooh, first ones that come to mind there, like The Witness at times.
The Witness is number one for that. That's one where I literally, like, when I figured out the music puzzle on the ship, and then when I solved the gauntlet thing at the end, it was.
Oh, you did that? You did the gauntlet?
Yeah. I did everything in that game.
Okay.
I no looking up anything. I just that was fit with my brain so well. I just like stood up and screamed, and my neighbor looked over in the window at me. It was a whole thing.
Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds.
Okay, yeah.
That might be my number one, actually. I fucking love Outer Wilds.
Yeah. Yep.
I never checked out the DLC. I got to circle back.
I tried it, and I couldn't do it.
No?
Have any of you ever really played the Phoenix Wright games? It's at least adjacent.
I like them.
to
Yeah, I
this
like them. Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
like
good.
I love
I'm
that
not,
shit.
but I intend to.
you
Lorelai and the
should.
Laser Eyes makes me feel dumb.
Yeah. I wasn't. That was too much for me.
I need to play that before Game of the Year.
Baba Is You makes me feel smart.
Bob is used
Until
one
it
where
makes you feel dumb.
That's exactly
Right.
it. Made me feel smart until it made me feel dumb.
Yeah.
I should go back to it. I should.
I think Outer Wilds might be the perfect, like they found that sweet spot of like, it was just tricky enough, but I feel like, you weren't banging your head against something for an hour without finding anything. I feel like you were constantly making discoveries.
Yeah. God, Outer Wilds is so goddamn good.
Would y'all
I
consider
bet I
like,
forgot most of it by now. I could probably replay that now.
oh, that'd be fun. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't think Lucy ever checked it out. I'd be interested for her to stream that.
That's one where it's like I want to do a fun special stream of like playing that at a campfire outside in the summer or something. Like it's just because it has such good vibes for that.
With
Sort
Mike
of
playing
thing.
a flute.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being dressed up as Pan. Yeah, out there in the woods. Yeah,
I should get a pan flute next. I
You
think that'd be
should.
fun to learn that.
yeah.
Be very whimsical.
I'd like to see that.
All right, boys. Well, unless anyone else has any other little tidbits or little bits of games they want to talk about.
Yeah, I tell you what, Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna say real quick. Played a little bit more Mario and Luigi Brothership and liking it better after a little bit.
I want to say, I forgot to say, I did start that, and I got like maybe 45 minutes in, and I played and loved all of them. There was something so deflating about saying that this one was super long, and I had flashbacks to Dream Team being so long.
It's not long in the same way as Dream Team, but it is apparently it's very, very long.
Well, and also I don't love the look of it at all.
It really just kind of looks off. Like I don't
It
know.
looks old
it's
and
close,
weird,
but
and
not. Yeah, it's far enough away from what I want it to be that it's like there's something weird about the way it looks.
Yeah, I like the combat, but it was doing that thing that some of those games have done where it's like, oh, every time I walk somewhere, some asshole is going to start talking to me about something and explain everything too much. And it's just like, it's so exhausting every time it does that,
I knew I should have started Brothership so I could talk about it on podcasts, and then I'm like, oh, I'm really deep into metaphor and stuff in here is getting super good. I really do just want to play that instead of, and look, even in the best of times with Mario and Luigi games and Mario RPGs, first couple hours are kind of boring. So I'm like, do I really want to do that right now? Not really.
But Grub is getting better?
It's a little bit better, yes.
A little bit. Okay, it's just like at this time of year when you're kind of doing that math of like, oh fuck, I still need to play this.
I don't think it's one that people need to play. Yeah, frankly, I think that's where I would settle on it. Where it's like, no, yeah, unless you have a lot more time and a lot of love for Mario and Luigi, is probably one you can mostly skip. I think that IGN review that gave it a 5 out of 10, well, I think it was a little harsh. I generally agree with most of the criticisms in that review.
I could really see myself just finishing Metaphor and going straight to Dragon Quest 3, which I'm much more excited about.
Yeah, I think that is the route, Mikey.
Yep.
That is a critical path. And if we're doing the critical path of the rest of this podcast, it's now time to take a quick bricky break, and we'll be back with some news. I'm
I
sorry.
just downloaded Tetris Forever. Tetris Forever is live now. I just downloaded it.
That's the
me
breaking
too.
news.
Me too.
That's the breaking news.
As soon as the break started, before the break when we were still going, and I was like, this could cause a problem for the show, and I don't care. I started downloading it, and now it's finished.
Grub, we're linked up sometimes.
Yep, sometimes. Drift compatible.
Grub and Dan downloaded Tetris. That is the first news story of today.
Yeah, Tetris
What else
Forever.
do you got?
Area 5 did a lot of the documentary work for Tetris Forever, which is the One Up Show people, which is a very, very important thing to me. So, yeah, go get Tetris Forever and consume that content. Yeah.
Tetris Battle Guide N is on there. You can play Tetris Battle Guide N.
All this stuff has got online, right? Stuff, so we could play these games online.
I would love
Roll
to play
back
Battle
Tetris
Guide in
netcode.
Yeah.
online.
All right. Well, we'll take a look at that. All right. Let's start here. Mike, I need you to rev up your surprisingly deep knowledge about Disney and its corporate structure. EA CEO Andrew Wilson reportedly being considered for top Disney job. Basically, Bob Iger retired. He got Bob Chapek to replace him, and then he was like, Bob Chapek, I fucking hate you. I'm back. You're fired. And the pandemic happened, a bunch of stuff happened. But Bob Iger came back, and now it's like, okay, time to retire again. And they're going to spend the next couple of years figuring out who to replace him. And apparently could be Electronic Arts current CEO, Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, it's weird. Part of me wonders if he's just a candidate because they need candidates, right? And they need to make it, they need to look at people outside the company too.
Needs to be a job search, needs to like due diligence and all that stuff to be keep the board happy. Sure, yeah.
The big problem with Disney and having a single leader for it is that Disney is so big and is so many things, right? You need to understand its TV business, its subscription service, its theme park business, its merchandising business, it's sports, ESPN, right? There's a million things you have to understand. So it's a little weird that one of, the kind of smaller aspects of the company right now, and they've been putting more effort into it, video games. I'm not sure why you would get somebody where that is their main efforts. The one thing that maybe I'm thinking too much about this is if Disney did want to make a major acquisition for a video game company, seems like a weird time to do that right now. But hey, maybe they even wanted EA getting Andrew Wilson as your new CEO. Maybe that helps you make inroads there. But it doesn't seem like an amazing fit right away unless they know something about Andrew that I don't.
Yeah, EA is pretty diversified when it comes to a video game company, and they do have links to sports and stuff like that, and so I think some of those skills would transfer. But you're right; it's such a different thing, and if one of those like verticals falters, that's a problem for the CEO, as we saw with Chapek. I don't know. I wouldn't miss Andrew Wilson. It's not like I've been super in love with what EA's been since he took over. In fact, they've been, I think, kind of the model of the risk adverse sort of we're just kind of doing the same thing over and over. And yeah, we used to make Mirror's Edge, but we don't do that anymore. And in fact, we don't do anything like that anymore because the last Mirror's Edge we did was sort of not up to snuff. And now we have to panic anytime we see anything that is potentially a new game outside of one of these massive franchises that we know could sell 20 million copies.
When's the last time Andrew Wilson thought about the 12 and younger audience, right? Which is a huge part of Disney's business. So yeah, it just seems weird.
I think like the only example of that is they're going to re-release My Sims. Do you think that lives up to it? Probably not, huh?
I think Sims is like the only thing that could potentially target that demo, but
yeah,
I don't know. Like, are the youth, like people like your kids like Dib's age, are they getting super into Madden? You think, or are they just in Fortnite?
They play Madden, but I don't think that's like the audience that EA and Andrew Wilson necessarily thinks about and is marketing towards. Dan, do you have something to say about the youth?
I just think it sounds like Dib's just really into the Paul brothers right now. That's his main thing.
Look, he's just like, that's an appetizer before the main course of Andrew Tate.
Of course, fast track. Yeah, he's the top.
I think that if what is EA's big success from a business perspective over the last 10 years, it is Ultimate Team. How does that translate to Disney in any real way? I don't think there's a one-to-one there because it's, video games are such a ripe thing for charging people, like upcharging people and finding creative ways to charge people more.
They're already good at that at Disney, so.
They're right, but and then you can't really do that with movies and things like that.
You can do it with theme parks, though, and boy, do they.
Yes, they definitely do it with theme parks. So I don't know, maybe they're looking at theme parks and like, hey, maybe he can think of some innovative new ways to separate people from their money. But you're probably right, Mike, that this is an early candidate that will be forgotten when they actually announce, the finalized candidates or whatever, or when they actually announce who is going to be the next CEO. Like, remember when Andrew Wilson was mentioned? That's probably what's going to happen.
The last time they went outside for it was Eisner, I believe, and he came from Paramount, right, which was at least adjacent ish, and he had to build so many connections at Paramount with very relevant modern people like Steven Spielberg and whatnot. Since then, it's been internal. Iger was internal. And then Chapek was internal too. Chapek did come from the theme park specifically, and they kind of had the problems. Like, well, he knows about the theme parks, but what does he really understand about, television and movies? And that was part of why we ended up back at Iger. So the whole thing is a mess, and maybe it is just too much for one single person to do that good of a job at. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, whoever you bring in has got to be someone that can build a team of people they trust to dictate to, because they can't do it all. I was looking at Andrew Wilson's Wikipedia. He holds a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I don't find that surprising at all.
Well, that'll help. At least he'll be able to fight off the other candidates then.
Do you think under his blazers he's always wearing Affliction t-shirts? I bet he is.
That'd be cool.
Is Ed Hardy still a thing?
For Andrew Wilson, probably.
Okay.
Ed Hardy's coming back, and
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Fantastic. I remember that scene in Noobs where the guy comes in wearing like an Ed Hardy or Affliction t-shirt, and Blake Freeman stands up to him heroically and just makes fun of him.
Yeah, how about I punch you in the face and you bleed all over your stupid douche shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to see that scene like 5 times.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, boy.
I was looking for something to watch last night, and I almost put on Noobs.
Oh, I mean, it's an interesting experiment. You won't forget it.
Don't do that. There's a new summoning salt out on Simpsons Hit and Run. Watch that instead. It was great.
There you go. Sony has cut the PS5 Slim Digital Edition price by $70 until Christmas. Sony Interactive Entertainment has reduced the price of the PS5 Slim Digital in the United States. The console is now available for $380, a discount from its regular price of $450. Now, it was when that thing launched, was it $400? The digital edition, not the Slim, obviously, but like the original digital edition.
500 and 400, right?
Right. So so we're kind of like sneaking a little bit back past where it started at, but okay, yeah, $380 still is a discount. They're trying, like we've seen the console sales have dipped year over year for everything, including PlayStation 5, even though they are selling more PS5s than any of the other consoles at the moment. But this holiday is one where it's like, hey, maybe they can make some moves by doing price cuts, and we haven't seen really aggressive price cutting very frequently in the last several years. Now, PlayStation did do this last year when they were trying to meet a very high bar of what they set their expectations for with investors. But hey, they're back this year, more discounting. This feel like something that could move the needle for people, like people waiting on the sideline for a $300-ish price tag?
Maybe. I feel like it's no coincidence that the discount is the price of a game, right?
Yep.
So you hope, like, okay, now, people will say, that's how it even just be. There's something about seeing that price start with a 3 where I'm like, that's very reasonable now, right?
It feels
All of
very
a
different.
sudden.
Yeah. All of a sudden. Yeah.
Even hearing the 380 makes me think like, oh, wow, well, that's way cheaper than a Pro. I could go grab this one. I think that might be like the mental gymnastics some parents might do, say for like their little gimmicks if they're outgrowing the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking almost half the price, right? Of a PS5 Pro. So I think that does a couple things. It does make this feel like much more of an impulse purchase, something that you feel good about getting as a present for the holidays. And boy, it makes the PS5 Pro seem that much more expensive.
Yeah.
Like almost twice as much as this for the Pro, and it's not twice as good. What are we talking about here? So, I think that's always where they end up with this weirdness, and this is why we don't see a lot of discounting. Is they want to make sure that you feel like the upsell ladder there of, I want to get a PS5. Well, that's $400, but I want a disc drive, so I'll just get the 500. If I'm already spending 500, I might as well spend a little bit more and get the PS5 Pro, and then I'll get the disc drive for that thing. So they want you to feel that, but this is so far removed from that PS5 Pro price that it doesn't feel like it can get you into that line of thinking. Lack of PS5 Pro shortages mean that some scalpers are reselling at a loss. It's a feel-good story. I mentioned this on Game S Mornings, and everyone was very happy to hear this. But apparently in the UK, a lot are selling for for under the £700 price on eBay. Some are even selling at like £580 for the PlayStation 5 Pro. So I think this just speaks to, okay, the demand is not there. Maybe it's more supply, but it does seem like the demand for the PS5 Pro isn't as high. And I mean, does this surprise you guys at all? I think this is probably what we expected.
Yeah, I feel like that scalper market really surged during the pandemic because people were clamoring to get a PS5, but now because a lot of people already have a PS5 and it isn't essential to get the Pro, a lot of those scalpers sitting on them, and fuck them.
Fuck 'em. Absolutely. PS5 hits 65 million consoles sold as Sony says to expect a mix of single player and service games going forward. This is kind of just they had their earnings report. 65.5 million PlayStation 5s sold. PS Plus revenue increased due to higher tiers of service and pricing hikes. Monthly active users and playtime across all platforms showed positive growth, and PlayStation Studios is promising promising a mix of single player and live service games. They also had mixed results in live service ambitions with successes like Helldivers 2 and cancellation of Last of Us multiplayer and of course Concord. I mean, it does feel like a lot of parts of Sony are working. The live service parts aren't necessarily working, and some are crashing. And so it does feel like PlayStation overall is in this, hey, it is what it's been, and they're going to kind of stick with what's working going forward, like a status quo with PlayStation. And I'm mostly fine with that. Do we get the sense that Sony might still be at some unease with where they're at positioned in the market?
I mean, they were hoping for the live service games to be a big boon, and instead we had kind of one big and one failure kind of cancel each other out, maybe, and in the best case scenario. And you're looking at what's coming next, right? Because there's that. What's the other live service game that we're all like, oh, there's not much of a hope for that thing? Not Marathon. Marathon will probably find
Fair Games.
Fair Games.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, exactly. It's like, we'll see about that. I mean, it's funny that they're like, expect a mix of single player and service games. Okay, so then what you've been doing, right? Nothing's really going to change. It seems like they're gonna stay the course here.
Astro Bot did sell 1.5 million copies though, according to Sony.
Yeah.
Is that yay?
I don't know.
I always struggle so much with this. I'm always like,
me too.
Is that good? Because part of me,
my barometer is still like, was it PS1 that it was like $1 million to get the green label? And it's like
a long time ago.
I know it's turns out games have gone pretty far since then.
I also miss when it was just like, this game sold 1 million copies. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. And I bet it certainly isn't bad, but there's part of me, so 65.5 million PlayStation 5s, and it's like, man, only like 1 out of 40 people have Astro Bot. Like, why do you even have a PlayStation? And I know why they have a PlayStation. It's that they can play Fortnite and Call of Duty, probably. But still, I just want to live in the world where Astro Bot is some, like, giant, sells 5 million, 10 million copies, success. And, I know that's probably unrealistic in a lot of ways, but I just wish it nonetheless.
If it was on Nintendo, right, though, it would be a 5 to 10 million seller, right? That's the thing where it's like, then I'm like, can't we just like mesh these things together a little bit more? I think I was hoping that by the time we got to this point and we were hearing this first number, I thought like 2.5 million, 3 million at least is kind of what I was, and that was also very optimistic. Now, the good news continues to be this is one of the fastest selling platformers that doesn't have Mario in the name ever. In the United States, I think it is the fastest one that does have Mario on the label, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, whatever Matt Piscatella says. And it did about as good as you can expect it to, realistically speaking. I was just kind of like, can we get a little unrealistic? Can we just recognize how good of a game this is? And it's like, it didn't break through to that. Now, it still has the holidays ahead of it. It still has word of mouth. It still has the fact that it almost certainly will be nominated for a game award and will show up in a lot of game awards across a lot of different media outlets. So there's a chance that it could go and have a really bright future. But it's like, there are games like this that have broken out. It Takes Two won the game award, right? And they just announced that thing sold like 20 million copies or some insane shit like that. What's that? Oh yeah, divorce. Yeah, right. Divorce.
Should be more divorce than Astro Bot.
Yeah, divorce is over, brother.
Divorce power, probably instead of a shrinking power. That would have been much better. So yeah, the story here is 1.5 million is good. I wish it was better. Maybe it will be better as it keeps going ahead here and gets into the holidays.
I think with the holidays coming up, the Astro Bot may be like I don't want to say baby game, but the platformer that some younger gamers may hop over to.
Sure, but again, there's a bit of a problem with how many like younger gamers, how many people under the age of 10 have a PlayStation 5, really? Is that really the market for that console? In the same way that PS1, PS2. It's like, yeah, a lot of young people had, especially the PS1, right? PS1 got cheap. There's so many people kind of grew up with Spyro and Crash, especially in that era. And Sony has kind of left that behind and sort of given that market up to Nintendo. And I think that was always a mistake. And I think it's, if they're looking for growth, I don't know about live service games to see how risky that is. I really do wish that there was a bit more of a push for family-friendly games again instead.
I got a correspondent, Dan Reichert from the field, breaking in with Breaking Story here.
That's right. Coming in from the Taco Bell Corporation, the chat has informed us that December 19th, nationwide, there are crispy chicken nuggets with the Bell sauce gimmick and jalapeno honey mustard sauce, both of which I can confirm are incredible, are coming out nationwide for a limited time. That's right, folks. I ate them copiously when they were a test market here in Minnesota. Now all of you can see how delicious it is. Oh my God, I'm so fucking excited.
We did eat those at your house last
No,
year,
we were
right?
going
didn't.
to,
We
but they
wanted
stopped
to.
doing it right before.
Man, okay.
Yeah, so you have not had them. They are fantastic. And if it's going to be a limited time, I'm going to have those all through the holiday season. Hell yes.
Merry
I'm very
Christmas,
excited.
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Now I won't have to go to two places when the one kid who likes Taco Bell wants Taco Bell and the other kid wants chicken nuggets. So
Well, it's wild because like when they were out, I was just getting nuggets and fries from Taco Bell, and I liked both of them better than McDonald's, which I love McDonald's.
that's crazy. All right.
yeah.
You do 100 of these?
Ooh, they're pretty
Chicky,
chunky.
Nuggy Christmas.
No, not 100.
Make it
I could do
Chicken nugget
45.
Christmas is good.
honey mustard.
I'm too concerned for my health to try and think about-
Jalapeno honey mustard. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds really fucking good.
It's good, and I'm not a mustard guy, but that Bell sauce is fantastic.
What's Bell sauce?
It's like orange.
Great. It's like cane sauce.
I know exactly what
No.
you mean.
It's like spicy orange,
Yeah.
Okay.
but not
Spicy
like
orange.
not like the fruit orange.
Not that we
just
knew you didn't mean the fruit.
the color,
We
but
know.
spicy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, it's fine. If an orange, like orange chicken sauce is pretty good.
It's not like that.
Okay.
No.
Well, all right. Let's talk about returning to the previous world that we used to live in. For example, Fortnite OG is returning permanently in
What
December.
does this mean?
So you remember they did Fortnite Classic, Fortnite
Yeah.
Throwback as an event a few months back, and it was very popular. And starting in December, that's just going to be another option that people can just go select, and it'll just be the game as it was when it launched, I suppose.
And for someone like me that came in really late to Fortnite, I think I came in when they introduced John Cena. It was fun to go back to like the original map, and so like I'm glad I'll play that.
Yeah, it's just so interesting how these live service games where they're changing all the time, and sometimes it's like balance changes or this and that. Turns out a lot of changes are just arbitrary for the sake of change, so that when you do revert to the OG, it sometimes just works just as well, or there's something about that
it counts as a change as well, right?
it just counts as a change. Yep.
Now, maybe we have more of a conversation about this because Overwatch Classic is an event that brings back the original heroes, abilities, and maps. Overwatch 2 is launching Overwatch: Classic, a series of nostalgia-inducing events that take players back to the game's early days. The first event will run from November 12th to December 2nd and will feature original heroes, abilities, maps in the classic 6v6 team-based format. Now, for me, it's like, man, okay, we're already like at the nostalgia, but it's like eight years, right? Is that where between now and when Overwatch
Been a
came
while,
out?
and there were so many drastic changes with Overwatch. I mean, just the 6v6 thing, right? Because Overwatch 2 went to 5v5, so that's a big deal. It's a little weird for me because, like, Overwatch changed so much and so quickly that what I'm nostalgic for is maybe like a year into Overwatch, not necessarily launch day Overwatch where you could have 6 Winstons in a match and things like that. It'll be fun and wacky to try again. I guess I am glad that they're doing this, but it becomes a problem where this is so different than the Overwatch we have now. What happens if everybody likes this more, right? Again, here's a game that's just been changing so gradually and sometimes drastically over those 8 years that this OG version is going to feel very different.
Yeah, like 8 years is longer than most console generations. So, that is like, I'm playing a 3D game. And then if you go back 8 years, I was playing like Atari almost. So, it's a long time. But also, this does feel like, this is the cycle that these games go through. And this is the midlife crisis of they're looking around and they just want things to be back to the way they used to be, and fans just want to recapture that magic, and they're looking for their youth and the way that they felt when they came online after school and they were playing the game, and now the game's going to feel like that again. And a part of me is like, okay, is this like, okay, then what happens next? How do you go forward from here? And some do, like World of Warcraft has definitely found a way to do that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like World of Warcraft just kind of has the two verticals now. You have classic and you have, the new stuff going, and some people play one or the other, some people play both. And then you have like RuneScape, or I think the classic version of RuneScape is kind of just the version most people
the one
play
they play
now.
yes.
Right. So that could also happen at any moment.
All right. Valve is selling a limited edition white Steam Deck OLED starting next week on November 18th. So in about 6 days, I might
Thinking about it.
I can't afford it.
Not even considering it. I'm good on my ROG Ally X Life. I love that thing. I'm fine.
Ooh,
I'm
I should
set.
play that. I like that too. Yeah.
I can't afford this right now, but it looks really nice. It's white with some cool colored accents on it. But otherwise, it's the Steam Deck OLED. It is exactly the same thing. So.
But what if I had a white one too?
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I am like, oh, it would be nice to have a new one, because then it's like now I would really have enough of the ones that are, I would have 3, so the kids would each have one, and I could have one, and we have the Steam family sharing now, so that works really well. So I'm like, I'm starting to justify it, but I'm like, no, I should just wait.
Me too. For the kids.
One thing I don't like about the ROG Ally X is that the original ROG Ally was white and the X is black, and I'm like, it's not quite as sharp.
Yeah, I have I worry about, was the white going to look dirty? But I have the white Ally, and it looks great still.
That's what y'all are too.
Thank you. You know it.
Shout out to Jan there. All right. And then Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with Switch. Nintendo confirmed last week. It's what we hoped for.
No brainer.
They just came out and said it. Part of that is probably, hey, keep buying games, because they're going to work on the Switch too. But also it's like they're promising to continue the Nintendo Switch account, so all the games you have purchased will continue forward, and then also Nintendo Switch Online.
Good.
So your subscription will continue forward, and they want that continuity, because they've seen what it did for Sony, and I always mention this, but Sony traditionally, it would launch a new console, and that year its profits would dip drastically. In fact, it would always lose money, and it did that every single generation. The PS3 was really bad, where it took years to become profitable. With the PS4 to PS5, it has been a very smooth transition. They just kept making profit throughout that entire time. There was almost no blip at all. A lot of that is chalked up to these accounts having your games, so people felt comfortable continuing to buy games. And the subscriptions, Nintendo wants in on that. And so that moved them to make this happen, because this was not just like, flipping a switch of, this thing's definitely going to be compatible with the Switch. They had to do some work, but they did the work, and now here we are. We're going to get the benefit of it. So good. Thumbs up to this.
Grub, has there been any updates on that mysterious online test they ran?
It's over.
Yeah, I know it's over, but
they haven't said anything. I wish they would just release it, because it is fun. It is.
It looks cool.
Yeah, I should share some more stuff with you guys, because there's some. You're getting a little bulldozer or a little forklift, and it's the size of a little cube. It's the size of you. And you just like go in and you drive around, you pick up a bunch of blocks, and you just drop them down and make a big thing. And it's and then you make the thing too big over to the side, and you see the block starting to wobble, and you're like, I got to build a pillar under that, and then you forget to do that, and you go up there and it all collapses, and it's cool.
I want to play that game.
It is a cool thing. So they have not said what their plans are. They have not said and weirdly, when they were like, hey, do us a solid and don't talk about this with anybody. Most people have been like, yeah, okay, we're not going to do that.
Everyone seemed to agree.
Yeah. So there hasn't been a lot. I was kind of waiting for the dam to break, and I'm like, I'll talk about it then when everyone else is talking about it. And everyone's like, no, we're really afraid of Nintendo. Please don't come for us.
It's not like with that Valve game, right?
No, definitely not. So, but it ended. And that was sort of it at this point. Nintendo's not like, hey, look forward to more at this point. Look forward to it on the Switch too. They'll probably talk about it again, maybe at some direct in the future. But yeah, in the meantime, it's just this mystery thing that came and went, and 10,000 people got to play it, and that was it. All right, last couple of stories here. Grand Theft Auto 6 is still on track for fall 2025 release. They're saying this I think that's probably going to happen or could happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a delay into early 2026, right?
Not
I'm Team
surprised.
2025, I believe. Not that I really care about Grand Theft Auto, but yeah, I'm just having a strong position for some reason.
Are you not a Rockstar guy at all?
I like Red Dead Redemption 1 a lot, and then I liked Red Dead Redemption 2 pretty good, more than most people on this site, I think. GTA games don't do a ton for me. Like, I played through all 5 and had an okay time with it, but was largely unmoved, and I think that's the only GTA I ever beat.
Wow. What about Bully?
Never played Bully. I bet I would probably like Bully. I didn't play Bully,
fantastic.
though, because I was like, I don't like bullies. When it came, I was like, why would I play as a bully?
You're like,
He does love Grand Theft
Fox
Autos,
News
though.
was like, oh, you're gonna be a bully and get people swirlies. No, it's got a heartfelt story. It's actually
Yeah,
really
I never
good.
checked it out either.
It's not pro bully. I will get on the bully soapbox any day of the week. That game is fantastic. I remember I played through it again several years ago, and I was like, God damn, what a cool, unique thing. They never just did another one of these.
I'm going to get table tennis running on the Parsec PC, and we should play some table
Oh
tennis.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's surprising? I wasn't actually bullied very much.
I get bullied more than you?
Yeah, I didn't get bullied very much.
What the fuck? Wait, you went to Catholic
Yeah.
school too, right?
Yeah, sorry, nerd.
No,
This is
what?
pro-
Did your
this
brothers
is
protect
probably-
you?
No,
I
my
didn't
older
have
brother
brothers.
a little bit because he was a senior. I was not so much my brother, but my brother's one friend who was very tall and big, and he liked to pick on me a little bit. But yeah, it was also a bit of like, you don't touch him, he's mine.
Do you think there was a possibility that you were so pathetic that people didn't find it
That
sporting?
is my leading theory because yes, I was very quiet and pathetic.
So I was cooler?
Yeah, that's
I
what
know
it
it's
was.
saying
I
that,
left
Dan.
a school, and am I cooler than you?
I was very quiet in school, really, until
I
basically
was
all of,
weird.
like, normal school.
I was loud and weird.
Yeah, I think my weirdness was actually pretty closeted back then.
I talked about
Yeah.
wrestling a lot at recess.
No, see, I didn't. I
Yeah.
didn't even talk, even wrestling. I think I was more into. Attitude Era for me was like 6th grade, so everybody was just into it. And then after that, I wasn't watching anymore. So like I wasn't going around singing Zippity Doo-Dah in the high school hallways, right? So
So
yeah,
Mike
I
was
wasn't
a
much of
jock.
target.
I was the nerd. Okay.
Yeah, I was a cool guy.
Man, that mustache.
Did
Yeah.
either of you have Letterman jackets?
No.
Actually, I think I got a letter because of marching band. So I had a letter, but I don't think I got the jacket.
Okay.
Jesus. For the weirder 11/12/2024 poll,
Yeah.
Dan is winning 45-6, winning.
What the fuck?
40.
It's been a bad year for you, Dan.
No,
It's been a
I've been
bad
on board.
year.
I've been seeing the sentiment later that I'm dumber and you're weirder, and I'm on board with that sentiment.
I think didn't Kayla just say that to you, and now you're calling that a wide-held sentiment?
Many people
right.
are saying this.
Many people are
this.
saying this.
Many
Gosh.
people are saying I can't make a grilled cheese.
It's like I'll be like, I don't put beans in my burrito. The people be like, oh, and then Dan will be like, oh, is it milk cow pee? And everyone's like,
I
well, these
didn't
things
say
are
that.
equal.
I
These
didn't
things are
say
equal.
that.
Babe,
I did-
what if you didn't say that? What were you? Never
I
mind.
didn't say
Never mind.
isn't milk cow pee.
For folks that
He
are
literally
confused,
said those words.
No, go back, check the tape. I don't think I said that.
hey, we say this all the time. It's a good podcast. Voicemail dump truck. If you haven't listened in a couple of weeks, go listen to this last one for sure. It ends on some notes. I'm not going to say high notes,
Yes.
but it ends on
Hands
notes.
on a note. Jeez.
Oh, there's a part where somebody talked about my beautiful dark eyes for a while.
Italian
I like
eyes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful Italian eyes.
I did.
More
Okay, yeah,
more
I see the
people.
chat. I did think the udders were the balls equivalent. That is true.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
That's-
Right, which
They're
is,
in the ball
it's the
spot.
same thing as saying isn't the milk cow pee. It's the exact same thing.
I'm just saying it's where like a scrotum would be
Not
on a
saying the
normal
pee
animal.
stored in the balls, everybody.
I'm just saying sometimes things can be stupid and weird.
Dan, have you seen the Pokemon Milk Tank?
No,
Can you Google
cow.
that? And I just want to see your reaction of it.
I feel like this is a trap.
Milk
No,
Tank.
it's just a cow Pokemon.
I don't want to Google Pokemon and make my algorithm all nerdy.
Sure. Okay. You're a cool guy.
Ubisoft is being sued for making the crew unplayable. Basically, 2 people in California are suing them, saying, hey, you made it seem like if I bought this game on this disc, I would have a game. But really all I was getting is a key and a license that you could take away. And there is a rule in California now that basically everyone that's just selling software like that has to tell people you're just buying a license. But Ubisoft didn't say that because the rule or the regulation was not in effect at that time. So These people are suing Ubisoft saying, hey, this is unfair, and this could be a class action lawsuit. We'll see how it goes, but I mostly bring this up to point out, like, what does this get us? This is not going to get us a future where Ubisoft suddenly keeps all their games online forever. Instead, it will just get us more warning labels on box art. So that'll be a fun future. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding is also available on Xbox now. That was a surprise release that happened in the last week. Simultaneously, the rights for the game reverted completely over to Kojima Productions. Parts of the trademark, IP, and the copyright were owned by Sony up until that moment. Sony doesn't have any rights over that anymore, even as Death Stranding 2 is about to come out. So, good for Kojima. And I guess if you want to try out Death Stranding on Xbox, that is now possible. So have fun with that. That does it for the news. I'm handing the show back over.
No, it doesn't. Keep scrolling down.
There's multiple things here.
All right, let's
I don't know
see
about
here.
that Ridge
Jeff
Racer
Grubb
thing.
smells that hurt my feelings. Okay, Ridge Racer blowout. That's also here. Oh, that clicking sound you hear. I think I know what that's. Okay, okay. These letters just keep getting bigger. Donkey Konga hot dog announced.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
I watched that direct. There was a direct last night about
There
Donkey
was-
Kong hot dogs.
A Nintendo Direct for the Donkey Kong expansion at the Japanese Universal Studios. That will also launch at the Orlando Nintendo World when that opens in 2025. One of the food options you get is a Donkey Kong hot dog. What does that say? Avocado cream?
Yeah,
Cream
I was
sauce.
worried when they
That sounds
showed the picture. I was like,
delicious.
"Ooh, what is that weird? Is that going to be like a sour cream mayonnaise thing?"
I was wondering if it's
No.
gonna be banana puree or something.
Well, I'd be fine with that, but avocado, I'm totally okay with avocado, and it's got like little Doritos in there too, which looks really
The
good.
Doritos. Why are there Doritos in it? I'm
Donkey
not
Kong would
against
like that.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like two King's Hawaiian rolls that they just
Ooh,
left
yeah.
together.
It
and just
does.
sliced
I
in the
think it
middle.
is. Jan,
And
that's exactly what's happening.
And they imprinted them. They
Yes,
have like
they-
a tiki design. Do you think Donkey
branded them.
Kong is a Cool Ranch or nacho cheese kind of guy?
Cool
Nacho
Ranch.
cheese.
I think he's.
Oh.
I think he's Cool Ranch. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Cool Ranch.
Okay.
But he respects nacho cheese.
Here is my proposal for whoever is listening. PR Universal. I've eaten 9 hot dogs for this website. I will after
not
every
not
single
over the entire in one night in one
one
sitting.
night and had 9 beers. I will do the same thing at your park, and I'll bring these 3,
Yes.
and we'll have
Yeah.
a lot of time.
I'll see how many I can eat. Yeah.
that direct looks great.
I
By the
will-
way, this whole park area looks amazing. I'm so excited.
Jan, well, let me put on a producer hat here.
Okay.
Would you do that while repeatedly riding the Donkey Kong roller coaster?
500%.
You would need,
all right, me too.
To be
All
clear,
right.
you're going to really need special permission to be able to eat during the roller coaster.
Look,
Eat
I made
one,
Six
get
Flags agree
on.
to it.
Eat one, you get on.
Yeah, exactly, right? We have someone as the hot dog wrangler, right?
Yeah.
I
We
would
get off the
be
ride,
honored.
we get back in line, and I eat said hot dog as we wait, and we just do that 9 times.
Or if we just if it just doesn't stop, like if we could just have someone standing with the hot dog as we pass the passenger thing, and just put it in, like just time it like a mini game.
Now,
Like a
listen,
marathon runner.
Jan, I know that some doctor told you that they didn't think eating the 9 hot dogs and 9 beers
Oh, here
contributed to
comes
your health
Dr.
problems.
Fuddy Duddy.
Oh, Dr. Funny.
I'm
that is a
not
good gimmick.
convinced. Okay, I'm not convinced that this didn't maybe contribute to some owies.
Oh, Dr. Fuddy Duddy's really funny.
Yeah, this is your Dr. Thugonomics arc.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go to Universal and have fun together?
No, we
This
gotta
sounds
gimmick it
very
up,
fun.
brother.
Yeah, we gotta make it up.
It's a theme park. They make the
Give me a
gimmicks
hot
for
dog
us.
wrangler. Don't take that away from me.
There's already a guy in a Donkey Kong suit. There's plenty of gimmicks.
Suit looks good. I
Oh, yeah.
really think I when I watched that direct, I understood like, oh, I saw Donald Duck because I saw that Donkey Kong and I was like, I want to meet that Donkey Kong.
Yeah, see?
I get it. I get
I
it.
want to meet that donkey.
Yeah.
I love that Miyamoto specifically is like, hey, this roller coaster is even for you wimps who are afraid of roller coasters. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you, Shiggy.
Yes.
I can't wait.
My favorite part was when he did like walk into one of the queue rooms, and it was a mural of a bunch of gorillas worshiping a banana, and he was just doing the worshiping thing to it as well. It's just a
Yeah.
very good image.
Like the
him
original
worshiping a
Donkey Kong,
banana
like
on a wall.
hieroglyphics, like that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong power wristband things too, so you can get new
Mhm.
ones
gotta
of
find
those. Just like in the normal Super Nintendo world, there's Pikmin Easter eggs. You saw a couple of
that's
them
so
if you were
good.
paying
And the
attention.
Nintendo Museum, they're heading around there.
Pikmin, so
They
hot
should
right
make
now.
a mini theme
Pikmin.
park that's Pikmin sized.
Yeah, like a little flea circus.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
that's a good idea.
They should make real Pikmin. The way they like brought dinosaurs back to life in Jurassic Park, they should figure out how to make like shoot Pikmin.
Yeah, if we're gonna create a genetically modified like living like what is it? Not a Hydra, but a Chimera. Whatever.
Chimera?
Yeah, Chimera. Thank you. If we're gonna do one of
Chlamydia?
those things, the first one that we should make should be a Pikmin.
no, we need to make like a lot of Pikmin.
Yes.
Like I should be able to buy like 500 Pikmin to live in my house.
Island of Dr. Moreau, but just Pikmin.
Yeah. Hey, look, Dr. Moreau says
Yeah, he's got some good ideas.
All right. Well, any more news, Greg?
You just want an ant farm? Can I just give you ants and said these were Pikmin? Would you accept that?
no, they're not as fun as them come in like ice and fire forms and electric.
Well, there's fire ants.
There's like
they
10% of our audience that has ever seen the Island of Dr. Moreau.
I watched that whole movie a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
that is a trip.
It is absolutely, man.
And I read Val Kilmer's autobiography, and hearing about him and Brando Buttonhead sounded
Oh
fascinating.
yeah, God, well, that sounds like a good time, man. This
Yeah.
hot dog looks so good. I'm
It
sorry,
does. I
Jan,
want to
back
eat
you.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. Hot dog.
Is Funky Kong's gift shop too?
Yes, it's
I am going to be at Universal as well next week, and that's one where the Disney, we had like the planner help us, and now I've got the Genie thing in the app, and I put a bunch of like recommendations and stuff like that. Like, hey, we'll give you a rundown of the stuff. It's kind of like handling itself for the most part. Bought a bunch of Lightning Lane stuff. What do I got to do at Universal? Do I have to do similar stuff?
So
In California?
No,
no,
Universal
Florida.
in Orlando.
oh,
Universal, there's just an upcharge you can get for your ticket that gives you kind of permanent skip the line stuff, and it's expensive, but kind of maybe worth it.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, especially I think it's worth doing for
So,
sure.
like if like we want to do like some of the like what they would be called at Disney is like the enchanting extras. If we want to do some of that stuff at Universal, do I have to like book that ahead of time, or can I book it that day?
No, I think it's all just lines. Like
Okay.
getting a wand at Harry Potter. That's not something you book ahead of time.
Okay.
You just gotta get in a line for it, and that thing will help you get through the line faster.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go do that right after we're done here.
my favorite
Yep.
Universal Orlando memory was being there for WrestleMania and being in the King Kong ride during a rain delay in the line and getting a call informing me that I'd be getting married at Taco Bell.
There you go.
Oh,
And then
Holy
telling me
moly.
to be quiet about it and not tell anyone. And I'm standing in the middle of a packed line with my friends and wanting to scream, I'm getting married at the Taco Bell and not being able to yell about it.
Man, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Did you whisper it to King Kong's face?
Oh, he knew. He knew right away.
He
Yeah.
knew. Yeah.
Jeff, so there's a Fast and the Furious ride that everybody hates but me. And it's probably going to be closed soon. I would really appreciate it if you went on it while you're there.
I will take the kids on it. Absolutely.
Good.
all right. Well, Jeff Grubb, is there any more news?
Jan, that's all for the news. This show's now back over to you.
Wait,
Well-
what about Ridge Racer Blowout?
I said Ridge Racer Blowout. It's written down there. It doesn't mean anything. Those are just 3 words.
It means everything to me, but okay.
And it means everything to me that we take a quick breaky break and we will read your emails right after this. Hot dogs, good food. The taco truck near my apartment started selling hot links, and I'm very tempted to investigate and see what that's all about. You think they're going to put it in like a bun or a tortilla? Would you eat a hot dog burrito?
I have eaten hot dog burritos when I run out of bread and all I have are tortillas.
Hot dog and fries in a burrito? That could be good.
Yeah, man. I meal prepped it, but they're open. I might. Anyway,
I rebought a sous vide, and I was thinking, Grub, you know that Casey Joe's barbecue we get shipped? It's already in a vacuum sealed thing. Just toss it in the sous vide.
Oh, throw that bitch in.
Yeah,
that'd be a good way to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, you still owe me some of that, by the way.
Yeah, I will order mine and yours at the same time here, probably before I leave for Disney.
I'm happy.
Real quick, who did this? Would you eat a Pikmin? 35 said yes, 22 said no.
No,
I would not.
I couldn't.
No. I'll eat shrimp all day.
They have too much person. It'd be like, I'm not going to eat a dog, you know?
Right.
Like, I'm not going to eat a Pikmin.
There was a Twilight Zone ripoff that did an episode about like a weight loss method, and it was like you put on these glasses and you could hear the food like begging you not to eat it.
Oh God!
And that's kind of what I imagine eating a Pikmin would be like.
And you probably haven't spent much time with cows. What if you discover that they actually have quite a bit of personality?
Yeah, whenever I think about what meat is, I do think like, oh, yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
I am so ready for lab grown meat.
Yeah.
I love Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat, all that shit. That's a benefit of like not being able to tell the difference between stuff. Is like I'll eat Beyond. It's just as good as a normal burger for me.
Yeah, 3D print me a steak. I'll do it.
Like in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Right.
Bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. Send emails about virtually any and everything. You want to avoid a awkward social interaction. You want to be staring at your phone while your date goes to the restroom, or you want to laugh and remark about like, my friend won't stop texting me. Go email the Bombcast email address. First,
Jan, you always say that. I did do that a couple times. Email the Bombcast email when I was just like looking for something to do or to avoid something. So this is a real thing. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing, y'all. That's the service we provide here. Not only do we blast your ear holes with our fantastic takes and our warm voices, but we also give you an out at a social gathering. Parallel Timelines. Harold's writes in, hello, question for Cool Bomb Crew. What small thing you'd like to check out in a parallel timeline / universe if it would be a shoot thing? Like a timeline where every Disney Star Wars project would be Andor quality, or a universe where we suddenly discover quantum teleportation in 2025. Energy would pretty much be free and humanity could start pushing space travel for real. Anyway, wish you well. Best regards, Harold's.
I'd like to see a world where car combat became like a dominant genre and like Twisted Metal like had the cachet of like
just as a game, not as like a real shoot sport.
Death Race 2000, that'd be kind of fun too if that was a real sport.
Sure.
I'd go to those. But
People die in Death Race.
Yeah, and you get points if you run over pedestrians, which I wouldn't sign
People
off
die
on
in shoot racing. So yeah.
That is true.
True.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that part though.
I would like to see the state of car combat today. If we have like PUBGs of like really good car combat and stuff. I've wanted a good PUBG car combat game forever, and I've not seen it yet. But
I
bring it
just
back.
want to be in the world where National Treasure 3 was made.
I never checked out that Disney Plus series. Was that
Me
okay at all?
neither.
No one did.
Oh, okay.
No one did. Nicolas Cage isn't in it.
That's true. You need Nick in
You
it.
need the cage, yeah.
Alternate universe.
I want to be in an alternate universe where John Adams did convince everyone to call the president Your Highness. Because I think that'd be weird if the president was called Your Highness. That'd just be a weird place to live.
Sure. Sure. All right. Next email comes from Jeff, and they're asking for some advice. Hey, bombers, what is the best method for reheating McDonald's French fries? I tried microwaving, oven, mini oven, and refrying them in a pan, but it's never the same. Please share any tips, including set temperature and or duration for your preferred method. Thanks, Jeff, Toronto, Ontario. Sent from my Bell Samsung device over Canada's largest network.
I'm an authority on this. I have been trying to reheat McDonald's French fries my entire life, and I gave up very early on in life because you microwave, you oven, it's not ever the same. Air fryer is the closest to decent ever. It's not the same.
It's not great, but it is decent.
It is good enough to where I will save fries now because it's worth reheating those the next day.
It's good enough that like I will feed it to my children and not feel like I'm doing something bad.
Sure.
How is anybody possibly having leftover McDonald's fries? That is like
it
the
only
first
happens
thing
if
that
you
goes.
like order too much. Like it's like, we got 4 fries for 2 people or something. Like I'm definitely eating all the fries every time, but yeah.
Have you ever met a 5 or 7-year-old girl? They just like will be like, I'm so hungry, I'm starving, and you get them like the regular amount of food, and they're like, I had 2 bites and now I'm stuffed.
It is.
And I'm like, I'm not wasting this. You're gonna eat this shit tomorrow.
Sure. It is strange with because I see it with the nieces and nephews all the time, and just how little they eat, and I'm like, don't you need more food than anybody? Your like body is doubling in size constantly. Like, aren't you just ravenously hungry at all times? And like you give them their tendies and cheeseburgers, and they'll like, take like 2 bites and be like, "This is gross."
Yeah, it's both. They're constantly full and they're constantly starving. It's like as soon as they get home from school, they will not have eaten their lunch, but they will immediately ask me to make them all kinds of different foods, ramen noodles, all this other stuff. They just want everything constantly. And then when they sit down to eat it, they'll have a couple of bites, and then it's God. Feeding children is the most frustrating part of having kids, for sure.
Emailer, I want to suggest to you something I did when I got a little too zooted one night and had an abundance of leftover fries. Repurpose those fries. What about you turn those fries into mashed potatoes?
Whoa.
What if you turn those fries into gnocchi? Huh? What if you did that?
Whoa.
I may have gone too blasted and had a bunch of fries and was like, man, I got some tomato sauce that I made yesterday. What if we just make gnocchi real quick?
Oh. Man, that's not a bad like using fries as the base for Irish box tea. That would be really good. Okay, I might try that out.
Try do that thing.
I think it is a shared memory everybody has. Like the one time they tried just microwaving McDonald's French fries, and just what happened?
No,
right?
no.
It's like, was this ever food? What happened?
Nuggets are fine. Even like you can salvage a burger. Taco Bell is the most reheatable fast food. It's crazy.
Sure.
Even like I air fry Taco Bell like crazy now because it's definitely the best way. But microwave is pretty fucking good.
You probably order without like lettuce in it, right?
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Because it's very not microwavable when it has all the vegetables in it.
Or if I'm going to get like a bunch of Taco Bell and like one of them is a cheesy gordita crunch with lettuce in it, because I actually don't. Most stuff I order doesn't have lettuce anyway, but I'll get a gordita crunch, and I know that's going to get soggy and stuff, so I'll eat that first. Because and I'll save like the quesadilla for last, because that's going to air fry and be better than ever, you know?
Right, totally.
I don't know if I'm just like more tolerant of it or if I'm just getting lazy, but I will eat a lot of my food just cold out of the fridge now. I don't care anymore.
I do. Even Taco Bell sometimes. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll do it with Taco Bell.
I like a cold regular burrito. You know, like a day old burrito.
Pizza for sure is that's good cold.
Sure. Pizza's cold.
Steph's not going to be here for dinner tonight. She's going to be driving back from Canton. What garbage food should I get for me and the kids?
Get a couple of my Domino's order.
Would like that. Probably.
Get a bucket of fried chicken.
Yeah, I would like fried chicken.
Get Arby's. Get a bunch of extra roast beef because those sandwiches are actually very good cold.
I like that. Totally.
I
got a fridge. It's a good snack.
You got a Popeyes near your grub? Get a Tuesday special.
I wish I don't.
I think I got the new golden barbecue, the new chicken sandwich. That's good as hell.
When the pandemic started and like everyone was getting or was ordering their food to be delivered with DoorDash, there was that warning of like, don't get French fries. They're going to be bad by the time they get to your house. I think like Wendy's specifically formulated their French fries to survive the drive to the house, and that's why they're crispier. But I don't know. Like a lot of times, it feels like there's like this layer of film on it. That is why I still prefer McDonald's. Like you want the ephemeral nature of fries to be there. That's what makes them good.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
I've still all week just been eating that Mr. Mime cheese.
Oh boy.
I don't like that sentence.
Yeah, where's Mr. Mime's udders?
No.
I don't know.
Next email comes from I didn't write it down. Hello, bombshells. I've been thinking about getting a Pikmin tattoo. My favorite Pikmin is the yellow one, but the rock Pikmin is pretty sick
Good
too.
choices.
My significant other has endorsed the idea of a yellow Pikmin tattoo above my ankle. This way, he can follow me everywhere just like he does in the game.
Oh, that's cute.
Also, he'd be following me against his will, just like he does in the game. Yes. I'm wondering, What are the chances there will be a Typhlosion style cancellation of the yellow Pikmin or Pikmin in general or anything other fictional creature I may hold dear to my heart? Thank you for keeping us happy, guys. All love.
Do I want to ask what Typhlosion is?
No,
It's a
you don't.
Pokemon.
That
But we'll tell you why I
got
got
canceled?
That turned a teenage woman into. Wait, no, he turned into a human to trick a teenage woman into having sex and marrying him.
Not
In
really.
Pokemon?
No, so it was just something that was written down in a document at the Pokemon company, and then when that leak happened, somebody found it. It's not like the Pokemon company ever willingly got that info out there and was like, this is official story stuff.
And also, it's based on folklore in the same way a lot of other like fucked up things are based on folklore.
Yeah, like Zeus. Zeus did that shit all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, Zeus.
Zeus was a pervert?
Oh,
Yeah.
What did he do?
Oh, he would just turn into
everything.
he
I
would
thought he
turn
just threw
into
lightning bolts.
animals and then fuck people and like
Yeah.
make and have babies and then like cheat on Hera and kill people. Yeah, Zeus is weird.
I thought it was just lightning shit. Okay.
Nah.
way more than that. They don't include those powers in Hades.
I think the yellow Pikmin is like a Ferengi and is super into ear stuff.
Sure.
Wait. Look, I appreciate Ferengi more than most people. How did you
How
come
did
to this
you not
conclusion?
get bullied more than me?
Oh, I was really into Star Trek
sentences
in high
like
school
that.
too. I know.
Wait, Ferengi are super into ear stuff. Don't they love having their
They
ears?
do. It's like that. Yes, when it's sexual.
Yeah.
When people touch their ears.
Oh,
and
you
they're
mean
very
on
clear
the Pikmin side of things?
yeah.
Because
Why
they're the
did
ones
you-
with the big ears. Because
They do have ears. That's true.
they have bigger ears than most.
You have the old Pikmin right there. You could show us.
Oh shit! Look at that. Yeah. Look
You're
at-
like, where?
Oh man, I
looked around for
I
a
could feel
second.
myself have the big dumb face when I look around. Oh man,
The face
there
you
he
made
is.
was great.
Maybe
For
not
all
when
you
I
listeners,
said Mount Rushmore of presidents.
for all you listeners, it's tied to his microphone.
Honestly, it's other than my microphone. I think it's literally the object that is closest to me in the world right now, like proximity wise.
Incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Look at this fucker.
All right.
None of us have video game tattoos.
I don't have
No.
any tattoos.
I don't have any tattoos anymore.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well-
Yeah. Or not. Do any of us have any tattoos?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I'm
No.
I'm not a tattoo guy, just like I'm not a CTE guy.
And it's Kayla had that Skyrim tattoo.
Oh, Kayla
Right.
got a Skyrim tattoo before she played the game.
That rules.
She was confident she was going to like that. Now she's got
And
the
she's
Dragon
right.
Age thing on her arm. Yeah.
That's like the game she's played the most, right? Yeah.
Oh, Skyrim she's played the shit out of. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Next email comes from Ragnar in Norway. Hello. They email and ask, "Hey bombers, what is the best game that you never finished, and why didn't you finish it? Best wishes, Ragnar from Norway."
It's funny. Mike said earlier on one of the only GTAs he beat, I realized as big of a game it was, and as much as I played it, I don't know if I ever beat GTA 3.
Ooh,
Oh,
I
really?
think I played the shit out of it, but I don't remember. Like, I maybe got into that like third island. I don't know if I ever beat it.
That's a game that, like, man, I did a lot of bullshitting around in.
Oh, yeah. Constant
Oh,
bullshit
Mike.
around. My favorite was you'd kill that one guy that was walking around the university area and he was carrying a spiral notebook. And if you zoom in on it with your sniper rifle, he was drawing a spurting penis.
I
Thought that
So
was
he
very
deserved to
funny.
die. Clearly,
Mhm.
yeah.
I thought I saw that there was an update to the console and PC versions of those
Yeah,
remasters.
that's like filters that were in like the mobile version.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was like looking forward to those remasters because I was like, I haven't really played a ton of these games. I played them when they came out when everyone was freaking out. I'd like to go and beat them, but then everybody hated the remasters and it seemed like they
Yeah.
did a bad job. So they're in a decent place now. I might like to try those
Vice, I would love to go back to Vice City.
I love Vice City. That's
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah, really good vibes.
Or like
yeah.
Vibe City. I try so hard to finish the games I play anymore. Honestly, if I like a game at least a bit, I usually do want to beat it. I'm sure that there are. Dan, I'm sure there must be some example somewhere of a game that I was enjoying, and then Tales of Arise. Actually, I was really liking Tales of Arise,
Yeah.
and it had like a very strong kind of midpoint thing. and happened like, oh, that's neat. But this is a good place where I can maybe take a break for a bit because some other things came out, and maybe I went on vacation or something, and I just never got back to it. And I feel bad about that because I was really liking Tales of Arise.
The first one that comes to mind for me is Sekiro, just because it was tied to a feature on the website that just stopped doing because I ran out of time. Kind of want to go back to it.
I feel like both the Final Fantasy VII remakes I like really enjoyed, and then they just kept going and going and going, and then I stopped like 5 hours from the end on both of them.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Baba is you. I'm like, man, yeah, I should go back and finish that. I really like that game. It just made me feel so stupid at a certain point.
Sure.
Okay. Last two emails of the show. Second to last one is grocery gossip. What are some stigmas surrounding grocery stores in your area? In the Seattle area, Trader Joe's is notorious for how god-awful it is to park at. Is it the same for TJ's in the rest of America? Or is it just a West Coast phenomenon? Do the Aldi's and Sam's Clubs of the country also have quirks?
Well, Aldi's famous for, you have to get the quarter to get your shopping cart. You got to pay for the bags and everything like that. My Aldi, I think I talked about before, the building one, like half a mile away from me, and it is coming up fast. It's opening next month. I'm very excited for the Aldi.
I refuse.
Is it just it flies in the face of Riker Grocery Mart wisdom?
Yeah, you don't pay for a grocery cart.
Well, you don't pay for it.
I know you get it back, but I'm not carrying around a bunch of fucking quarters just so I can hold my groceries.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like it in theory because it's like I am a fan of like economic incentives to do things. It's like, if you want someone to do something, put a little money on the line, and then I never have a quarter, so I can never partake in that. So I go to Aldi and I'm holding a bunch of loose items in my arms like an asshole. And that's my Aldi experience.
You know what the best feeling in the world was after I spent many years in San Francisco and New York City, places where I didn't have a car. And so it was like, okay, you have to basically, I'm doing Amazon Fresh or Instacart, or I'm walking to a store that doesn't have a great selection and just buying what I can carry back. And it's just like, after growing up in the Midwest, where it's just big parking lots, you drive a car, you fill up a trunk, big space, just like, and then I was gone for a long time. Coming back to the Midwest and having a car and just loading up a cart and driving home. It is such a little thing that you take for granted when you live in the Midwest. But God, after like New York and San Francisco, it's just the biggest luxury.
I've had it my whole life. I never made the move to a city, and I think it's too late for me now. I don't think I could possibly adjust to that.
Mikey goes Hollywood.
That's the alternate parallel universe I want to see. Hollywood Mikey.
The grocery quirk in my area is that apparently in like the 70s or 80s, I don't know the timeline, they tried to unionize grocery workers in Northeast Ohio, and so Kroger left and never came back. And so it's like this weird pocket where there is no Kroger or Kroger-owned
that's interesting.
grocery store. So we actually what we have are a bunch of little like weird grocery stores, like a place called Apples, and these ones that look like they are from the 70s and never updated because they didn't have the big mega conglomerate corporation forcing them to either out of business or to update.
I think I saw an Apples. Wasn't that in the same parking lot as the Minotti liquor store?
That was Mark's.
Mark's,
okay.
Mark's is yeah. I don't like
Mark's over here.
Mark's has that kind of. I remember they opened a Mark's here, and they opened it and they used this weird piss yellow paint everywhere. And I'm like, wow, this brand new grocery store looks like it's 50 years old and is covered in smoker stains.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I go in and I'm like, I feel like I am in a completely different universe. I want to be in the universe where there isn't a Kroger. And I live there.
You have Giant Eagles up
yes,
there?
Giant Eagle is like the bigger chain, and then we have this.
They're unionized. I know that.
Yes, yeah. Like I think a lot of places like that are still here did actually end up doing that, and a lot of Krogers now are unionized. When I worked at Kroger as a kid, like a 14-year-old, I was in a union. So I don't know why they don't just come back, but maybe they're like, oh, we're not going to invest.
We don't need them now. We have Giant Eagle and. We have Rulli Brothers here. That's the Italian grocery store.
Literally, like a week ago, Steph's like, "I miss Kroger. I hate Giant Eagle." I'm like, "Wow, I don't have that strong of opinions on it. I just go to mine."
People do have strong opinions about Giant Eagle because it's one of those fuel perk grocery stores, right? So like, oh, you get fuel perks at our gas stations, but of course they do that because everything's a little bit more expensive. So you're not really saving anything, and they're making you go through steps. I still go to the Giant Eagle constantly because it is very close, but soon Aldi might change it.
Yeah, there's a a place called Buy Right. Yeah, we have drug marts. Chuck is asking, yeah, drug marts. Yeah, we got a
Drug
bunch
marts
of
are
little weird ones.
expanding because all the Rite Aids closed. So some of the drug marts are coming in to the old Rite Aid territories.
Yeah, apparently Dollar.
It's the big one here.
Okay.
Question
Yeah,
for
so-
y'all.
Yes.
When you go grocery shopping, you got to make multiple stops at different stores. Or you try and hit everything in the one.
Oh, I
You
tried
do
everything
everything
in
in
one.
That is why I usually end up either going to Meijer or Giant Eagle, so I could just do it all in one.
Yeah.
Why do you have to?
Well, because like there's a really weird, not turf war, but supply war here in the
Gang
Bay
war.
Area. Gang war, right?
Sharks and Jets.
Yes. Sharks, Jets, and then maybe 4 other gangs when it comes to like the Asian grocery stores. Like,
Sure.
there's a lot of loyalty over here. Sometimes I can't get everything I need at one that I got to go to another one.
Interesting.
Yes. There's a shortage. This is only going to appeal to me and maybe a baby's handful of people in the audience. There's a shortage of fermented shrimp paste in
Shit.
nationwide. So I've been trying to go to every Asian grocery store in the area trying to find my fermented shrimp paste. And lo and behold, I'll always know where to find it because there will be like 5-6 other Filipino people looking sad and dejected, arguing about like, what the fuck? Why are we out? God damn it. And people trying to sell. This happened to me. I went to the East Bay, which is a ways away from me, to look for some shrimp paste.
Do they have
And
some in
then-
the trunk?
Yes. There was someone with a sign, an old uncle, missing teeth, chain
Oh, Unc.
smoking, going like, hey, pare, shrimp paste dito. And then I'm like, God, this man is yelling at me. It's not the color that I want, but okay.
Jan, if you do you have fermented shrimp paste in your home right now?
Yes, because I had to go through great lengths to find it.
If you make something, can I request? Can I do some content begging and say, hey, would you make another one of those videos you made of you making food with the shrimp paste? Because I want to see what that whole
What
process
do you
looks
make
like.
with the shrimp paste?
Okay. All right. This is Mikey. This is the main usage for me is going to freak you out. All right. And I just want to
Hell
give you a
yes.
content
Shrimp
warning.
apple pie?
Not
God.
far off from the truth.
Hell yeah.
We will take the shrimp paste, and it's fermented shrimp paste, so it's been cooked with onions, garlic, and tomatoes. And
Yeah.
we will dip green mango into it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, you had me
Oh.
with that weird paste thing, and the dip sounded fine. They had to go and ruin it with a fruit.
I'm sorry.
Wow, you're so hateful, Mike.
Oh my god.
Also, there's like a war brewing here of like I got into a cookie war a couple years ago because I was buying all of the
Fuck up some Girl Scouts.
No. I fucked up those two Instagram businesses is what I did. No, there's no way this gets back to them. Yeah. That's fine. No. Nah, never mind. I bought too
You want
much
to call
of
your
it.
lawyer first, or
I bought too much of an essential ingredient that this local cookie baker seller started sub tweeting me and sub posting me on Instagram. And the thing was, they were saying I was ruining their livelihood when I was just baking cookies for friends. So fuck off. Anyway, last email comes from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. They write in about the Giant Bomb Bloodline. Hello, Bombers. Longtime GB and wrestling fan. Which GB crew, past or present, would you match up to a Bloodline member? These are my pairings. Pre 999 hot dog Jan, Jey Uso. Post 999 hot dog Jan, OTC Roman Reigns. One finger up emoji. Thank you. Tam, Jimmy Uso. Bacalar, Paul Heyman.
of
Grub,
course.
Tamatonga. Minotti, Sami Zayn. I see it. Bailey, Jacob Fatu.
Mario Party, yeah.
It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Bailey Myers. And finally, Dan Tongaloa.
Oh, come on.
Who would best match up to Solo, the final boss, and the head of the table, Roman? And yes, Roman and Jan are too powerful and had to be split up. Foo, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
I'm at least solo.
I would say you're Solo.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Dan, did you also immediately start thinking of wrestling just because this guy's from Winnipeg? It's funny that
I'm
the
from
email was
Winnipeg, you
about
idiot.
wrestling.
Of course, yeah. I can't hear
Yeah.
Winnipeg. Most Canadian cities I just associate with wrestling. That's why I know
Especially.
Calgary. Yeah.
What's the
Calgary.
next thing after wrestling you think about when you hear Winnipeg?
Snow.
Literally the only thing I equate it to is I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot. There's not a single other thing that
So, like,
I
not
associate
even like
with
the
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg Jets, like, doesn't
I've
like
never heard of
no.
that in my life.
Wow,
Never
okay.
heard of that.
Is
either.
that why when Jericho and Omega had the tag team, they were the Golden Jets?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
I don't
Well, then
know, but I'm gonna
The
guess
Winnipeg
so.
Jets went away for a while. They're back now, and they're a pretty good hockey team.
I have never heard of them. No.
Yes.
Okay.
Same with Calgary. I only know. Yeah, it's just the Hearts.
So you don't know the Calgary hockey team?
No, is that the Hitmen?
No, that's a farm
they-
team. That's
that
like
might be that's a minor league team.
I
Yeah.
Oh,
think,
okay,
or
okay.
something.
Well, then I can't name a hockey team.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well,
never.
no, the Blackhawks. I know Punk never shuts up about them.
Yeah.
Are the Mighty Ducks still a thing?
They're just called the
They're
Ducks.
just the Ducks
Okay.
now.
Yes.
Do you know Pittsburgh's?
Is that Penguins?
Yes.
Penguins.
I only know them because I had to
Wait.
email them.
Oh,
I had to
okay.
email them because when I was doing my ranking of Mario's stream and Mario Lemieux was going to, I was going to rank one of those games. I was trying to get Mario Lemieux to do a video. So I had to email like the Pittsburgh Penguins front office or something.
Incredible.
So that's why I know that.
He works in the front office. That's
What's-
not a
Yeah,
bad
I know.
idea.
Yeah.
So wait, you never saw the Jean-Claude Van Damme hockey
Sudden
action
Death.
movie?
No, I
Sudden
really
Death?
wanted to see Sudden Death, but
Sudden
no,
Death
I
is
never have.
pretty good. That's
Yeah?
a pretty good one. Yeah.
I got to see that.
But who we're supposed to be casting here?
Us as the Bloodline.
No, it's
Well,
like who would best match up to Solo, the final boss, and the head of the table, Roman?
we could rearrange this. I think Grub is a Jey Uso.
Sure.
I want to say
Jay.
Sami Zayn, please.
Yeah, you're good.
I
Sammy.
want to be Sami Zayn.
Yeah, but you're not.
You got a beard.
I still want things.
I still
right.
maintain that Turbo Sean is the dirty Dom.
hmm
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he's a Judgment Day.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Who would Nikki be? Nikki's such a wild card.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'll
Seth
look on-
Rollins.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. All right, everybody. That does it for emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. We should make the Giant Bomb family tree because I feel like that'd be stupid and funny.
Oh, just use the rocks, take a look thing, and it's just us.
Yeah. None of them are actually connected because no
Yeah.
one is related.
Just all in Blake Club gimmicks. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yes, actually.
I do have a green screen version of the rocks, take a look thing.
Oh, perfect.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Gentlemen, what did we learn today? We learned that it turns out using a mouse and keyboard to control shooters is actually pretty okay. We learned that there may be some fake Wario fans among us, but fire stations, hey, if you're tired of your gimmicks, it's a good way out.
It's true, look it up.
We also learned that we're not afraid of dying, but we're a little bit conflicted about the existence of souls. And hey, special announcement, Taco Bell nuggets are coming December 19th. This is free PR for them. And also that Taco Bell may be the most reheatable fast food out there. And we also learned that inside all of us, just like at Nintendo Land or Super Nintendo Land, Nintendo World, whatever they're going to choose to call it, there is a special little hot dog right inside all of us. Boys, what do we got going on this week? It's a shorter week.
Yeah.
And we're going to plan it starting tomorrow.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Are we
And
like clubbing tomorrow? I don't know.
I would love to. That would be
Okay.
great.
We're going
do
to
that.
try to. We're
We'll
going to do
have
our
to
best.
see based on Lucy James's availability. But if there's no Blight Club, there will be a Delight Club.
Yeah, we'll have something.
Grub game mess for the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's right. Even on Friday, where I might dip out after that to make sure I'm ready for my trip. But yes,
please.
Game Mess mornings on Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday.
Voicemail
yes.
dump truck probably on
Oh, good
Thursday.
for that. Yeah. I'll be out Friday. I got some more Yahoos coming to town that I'm going to be hosting. So, but yeah, I'll be out Friday.
We'll figure out what Friday looks like as well. Maybe Mike and I will just longingly stare at each other and talk about Kingdom Hearts.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Maybe I'll try to beat Metaphor, so me and you can have our own spoiler cast.
Oh yeah, let's do that. I'd love that. Let's do that. And what else we're going to do is we are going to end the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Giant Bombcast. It's been a great show. It's been a great episode. For everyone, thank you for listening. I've been Jan. He's been Grub. He's been Mike. He's been Dan. And you at home have been looking particularly great. Your skin is glowing. Your shoulders look very strong. Look at those strong arms. Go bundle up. We love you. Goodbye.
do it.